Warning. The B3F podcast may contain language or subject matter that may not be suitable for kids. You've been fucking warned. Check out some friends of the show. The Two Brothers Podcast. The Trevor Jackson Podcast. Dem Jackson Boys. The Dumbass Dudes Podcast. Pop Culture Warrior. Happened in the 90s podcast. Follow at The Andy Harris on Twitter. Go to our website at b3fpodcast.com for merch. Click on Tell Us What You Really Think to leave a completely anonymous review of each of us.
Oh,
yeah, just some sick fuckers and I like that.
Enjoy the show, you cunts.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
It's been a while since it's just been the two of us here.
It's just been the two of us. It has been a while.
It's been a roller coaster of emotion.
What?
Every episode.
Oh.
Been a roller coaster of emotion.
Okay. All right. Fine.
In other words, I'm happy before I leave the house, and then I'm sad when I get here.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Oh, it's just up and down always.
Oh, yeah. Well, tonight we're doing a grab bag.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done a grab bag.
It's been a while, so we're going to do a grab bag tonight.
And we have changed the rules a little bit with the grab bag.
All right, go ahead.
And I shouldn't say the rules so much, but since we have the suicide bottle now, which we almost cleaned the fuck out last time, but we decided we do the grab bag. Whatever's left, 2 bottles at the end is going to go. Is what's going to go in to the.
So you want to go ahead and draw the 2 bottles out now? Pour them in the suicide bottle?
No. We got to go. Just 2 that's left because we have 3 each.
Sure.
And then 2
right.
for the suicide bottle. So it'll be a surprise at the end of the show.
So I don't know what you got to go in there, but I know we each bought 3. What we done in the past is one of us just buys all 6 or 8, and we each bought 3 to go in. And so. As we get started, it's ready to go. You want to go ahead?
Yeah, let's go ahead. All right, thanks.
Here we go. What do you got?
Calypso spiced rum. It's cheap. This was 50 cents.
Really?
50 cents.
That sounds about right.
It's going to be trash.
I got a glass bottle.
Ooh.
I feel it already.
Oh,
Jameson.
You got the JMO.
Jameson.
I feel like that you memorized what your bottles felt like before you started going into it.
I'd forgotten. I knew I got something that wasn't shitty, so whatever I got left in there is shitty.
God damn it! Yeah.
So I couldn't remember what it was.
I got all shitty, so I had assumed that. Let me rephrase that. I didn't get all shitty necessarily, but it's nothing that both of us would be like, yeah, I totally want some of that, but none of it's like fireball level trash. So
okay.
I didn't quite go that bad.
There you go.
All right, well, let's cheers and start this shit off. God damn it. That's rum. It's like
oh Jesus,
that Calypso. It tastes like Captain Morgan's inbred son. Try you sip.
It's the Chet Hanks of
it's the best way to describe. Like it's definitely rum, but it's like it's not quite right rum.
Yeah, I'm not a big rum fan. Ooh,
no,
like a coconut on the back end.
Like I said, it's like the incestuous son of Captain Morgan.
Yeah, that's rough.
Oh
my God!
And his sister, Lieutenant Morgan.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that down pretty quick.
Well. Yeah.
All right.
So, how's your week been?
It's been a fucking shit show of a week.
Has it?
Yeah, just work shit, but it's been a nightmare. Like a nightmare. It's been hard for me to bite my lip a lot, and that might all I might explode this next week. We'll see. We'll see.
I had 3 different days this week where I overslept. Not late for work, overslept, but just like couldn't take a shower, overslept. Right. Like basically stick my head under the faucet, overslept, and no reason, no understanding of why. I didn't forget to set my alarm. Yeah. That one of the days I definitely remember when I woke up, I thought I remembered going, oh yeah, I know what happened. I remember my alarm going off and then me getting ready to get up and just kind of leaning my head back and going, oh my God, I don't want to do this. And
what's up, Trevor?
What's up, man? And I can remember leaning my head back going, oh, I don't want to do this today. And then I was instantly out.
Jesus.
And that's what happened. Another day, I just don't remember my alarm going off.
So you keep your arm like or your phone where you can reach it?
So what I actually do is keep my phone under my pillow now.
Really?
And this is the first week I've had that issue.
Yeah.
But I have my watch on, and so that actually wakes me up more than the alarm does because it buzzes on my wrist.
Oh, you sleep with your watch on?
Mm-hmm.
See, my watch is on a charger and my phone's on a charger across the fucking room.
So what I had done previously to sticking it under my pillow, which I've only been doing for a few weeks, but it's a desk that's like on my nightstand, and I stick it all the way over where I have to actually get up on my elbow and lean over to get it. I'm the only person in the room, so you know, I'm also cognizant of not waking my wife up, and so I've started using this sleep app, not CPAP, but
right.
and I'm sleeping more soundly. I'm still waking up multiple times at night, which is new for me.
Right,
but
you're old.
I am. Speaking of old, I had to wear a knee brace all week long because my knee is just killing me. Surprising, I don't have one on. I don't have it on right now, but surprisingly, like my knee felt insanely better after wearing that. Yeah. My leg didn't because it was like digging into my leg, but it was the legit like metal, joint thing. So
it's funny to me you take that much care of not waking your wife up in the mornings. It's fucking strange to me.
Why wouldn't
like I try to be courteous and not go out of my way. I try to be quiet, but if like my alarm wakes her up, whatever. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Because I'm the one getting up at fucking 5 a.m. to work. She doesn't have to get up. She can go the fuck back to sleep.
I understand that. See, that's the thing. It's very hard for my wife to go back to sleep once she's been awoken. Okay,
but she can. She has the option, is what I'm saying.
She has the option to try.
Yeah.
But I'm one of those people that have to have multiple alarms set. And so for an hour, and when I woke up in the morning, it would have been alarms going off for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Probably. So no, I am courteous that way.
I mean, it's because, courteous, but not at the see, my thing, I believe in courtesy, but not the detriment. Granted, I know this is the first week that you said this happened, but in my mind, like if it's at the detriment of me not oversleeping, now fuck you, you can wake up.
Yeah, if it got to that point, then I would just, I don't know, I'd probably just sleep downstairs or something, move my bedroom downstairs or something like that. But it's very hard for her to go back to sleep once she's been woke up.
That would be one. Again, to me, it's one thing if like she worked night shift, was just going to bed, all that shit. But like if she's not getting up to go to work that particular day, then I can go back to sleep. You can nap, take a nap later. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
but again, so Amanda's the same way. Like she's a shitty sleeper, and so I try to be very careful not to wake her up in the morning. But
she wakes up in the middle of the night and stays awake for a while.
Sometimes,
that's how Krista does
pretty
too.
Bad insomnia, which is I always had the opposite. Like my insomnia is I can't get to sleep, but after I go to sleep, then whatever.
Yes, that's me. Sleep in the other room. I do sleep in the other room, Trevor.
Yeah. Or don't tell your wife to suck the fuck up, Trevor.
Yeah, I do sleep in the other room though. We work opposite shifts though. Well, see there you go.
There you go. Yeah. Still, tell her to suck it up, Trevor. Tell her that Steven said to suck it up.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. I hate that all day long when you wake up late like that. My whole day feels rushed all day long. Okay. I have that feeling of I don't have enough time to get everything done or whatever.
But you don't build in like, because you're pretty structured as far as your day and your time goes. Meaning like you have a certain time you'd like to get to work, whatever, but you don't have like a buffer built into your morning.
No, I mean,
like I get to work probably half an hour before I
build my buffer in the wake up moment.
Okay.
So if something happens and I hit that snooze one more time, I use that 10-ish minute buffer then.
Yep.
And I still get to work and I walk in the door, 5 minutes before I'm technically going to be at work, but I also don't have a set start time. If I want to get to work at 7, fine, 7:35, 8, fine, doesn't matter. As long as I'm there by 9, I'm good.
Right.
I
always use do not disturb section, dude.
The sleep do not disturb section of the phone. Yeah, I mean, I know it, but I don't use it because no one's calling me in the middle of the night. If someone calls me in the middle of the night, it's one of the kids, and
See, I have all my kids in the favorite, so it'll still ring through. And then
I have that as well in case I were to accidentally set that on. But no,
But no, it's funny. I don't have an exact start time for work either.
Yes, Joey definitely enjoys sleep.
I don't have a set start time either, but I set one in my brain hole. Right, like if my day, if I want to start at 8, right, but I still get to work. Like okay, then that means I have to be at work by 7:30. And so that's my buffer time. That way, if I'm running late, that's fine. But otherwise, I like to get to work. I like to have a fucking cup of coffee. I like to watch a video on YouTube or what the fuck, and then kind of ease into the work day. Right? I do that at work, like acclimating, kind of like jumping in a fucking cold pool.
What's the first thing you do at work during the day that's considered work?
I'll start going through emails and then like admin shit first thing in the morning. And that and to see if anything's come up that I need to, factor into the day, because I get shit last minute that pops up a lot. So I usually get in and kind of use my first half an hour to catch up on, checking email and all the work shit, go over what I have to do, and then moving priorities around whatever the fuck else I need to do. But but I've always been that way. Like always been minimum 15 minutes early for whatever start time at a minimum, usually 30 minutes. Because again, it's for me, it's like, if it's fucking kind of cold and you're wanting to go swimming, when you just jump in the water, it's miserable and you hate it. I'd rather have that time to kind of like jump into the water.
Psychologically, though, that's better for you.
What's that?
That just jumping into the pool.
No. I'd rather just jump into the pool.
Oh, I see.
But I want to float around a little bit and adjust before I fucking start swimming laps.
Oh, I see. I thought you were talking about the water being freezing.
Yeah,
and your body acclimating to the water. It sounded like you're saying you'd rather ease in the way you ease into
I'd rather
work.
just jump the fuck. I'd rather jump the fuck
which
in,
is what I do. I get to work and jump right into work.
No, I like to jump right into the work environment, but I like to hang out for a minute before I start swimming laps.
Sure.
That's what I mean.
And my hanging out before I swim laps is checking emails.
Right.
It's an interesting thing because...
But you're salaried, though. See, I'm hourly. I will not check the shit while I'm not clocked in.
Completely understand that. If I were hourly, I would definitely build an extra 15-minute buffer in to make sure that I'm not ever late or whatever. But it's one of those strange things that if I'm 15 minutes late, fine. I'll cut 15 off the lunch. I'll have 15 at the end of the day. Or if I do nothing, what's up, man? Or if I do nothing, if I just add nothing or whatever, who cares? It's a salaried gig. So
even though I still have a start time, like this is the time I have to start work, right? And I have my time I have to, and for
me it's 7:30 because I want to get out of there ahead of the 5 o'clock traffic.
Right, and that's I'm 7:30, 8 o'clock ish, whatever. But I'm the same way. It's just but like I said, when I get in, I'll make coffee, fucking dick around for whatever, and then whenever it's like, okay, it's time to start. And sometimes that still might be like at 8:15. Like if I'm like, okay, I'm really digging this YouTube shit, because again, my clocking time's flexible, but I like to be there early enough to feel like that I don't know. I've always been like that. I like walking in the door to work. I've always hated just walking in and starting work. Like I like to go in, kind of like acclimate to the whatever the ambiance is, the mood of the day at the office. Like I need some time to adapt to that shit.
Yeah.
Prepare my anus, so to speak. I got to do a little stretching before it all kicks the fuck off.
I like you guys better, so it's more. Am I selfish? No, you're not. But we enjoy talking to other people, not just ourselves, not just each other every week. Yeah. That's the thing. So anyway.
Yeah.
But
it's like we let ourselves see other people.
Feel free to call us if you got something you want to talk about. Yeah.
Trevor's got a toothache.
Oh, he does.
He did, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
My dog saw something outside.
Doesn't affect his fingers though.
Oh no,
just
I
ask
guess
his
it
wife.
doesn't. Yeah.
Ayo.
Yeah. So, Trevor, I'd like to know how your first married Valentine's Day was this year. Say at some point.
More
you got your toothache?
More important than the third one will be.
That's definitely true. Yeah, for sure. So what the hell are my dogs going off?
I have
about?
No idea.
I don't know. Can if you guys watching online can hear my dogs chime in?
I know they can. I can hear them in my headphones.
No, I hear them through the headphones. Yeah. That's the thing.
I'm in bed now. Tooth is killing me. Oh. Yeah. Poor buddy.
Go sleep in another room. Oh God. Anyway. Yeah. So
how about Russia?
Interesting. Interesting topic. I'm more interested in the president of Ukraine. Yeah? Have you heard any of his backstory?
Dude, I don't watch any of this shit.
No, I haven't watched anything. My wife reads that shit, and she was telling me about it. Like, evidently, a couple of years ago, he was a comedian, and he played the president of Ukraine on TV, and he thought it would be funny to use all the speeches he gave from TV and run for president just for funny, and fucking won. And now he's actually, from what I've heard, is doing a kick-ass job as president of. Okay. I mean, which is basically what we tried to do as well, but I mean, it didn't quite work for us that way. So
that's interesting. I don't know. It's least expensive Valentine's. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But no, dude. My dad called me. He was like, "So, what do you think about what's going on in Russia and Ukraine?" I was like, "I don't fucking know."
What's going on? Russia's kicking ass and taking names. That's what's going on.
It's like, what if this escalates to World War III? I'm like, well, what if it does?
Right.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah. What if Trump had started World War III? What if Biden starts World War III? Right. Whatever.
I'm just, I just want to play fucking Red Dawn. We might find, like, I made a joke on TikTok a while ago that, like, your childhood's a lie, and you'll never once in my life have I gotten to get together with a gang of friends and fight off the Russians. Yeah. And holy shit,
Right. I mean, you may get to do that. You might. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's a strange thing. This, I don't know. I don't care enough to.
No, my thought just goes to like a band of ragtag young fellas running around their small town shooting the pinkos.
Yeah, the biggest thing about it that bothers me is that gas fucking shot up this week. That's the
Jesus,
biggest thing.
I know. That was
it was interesting.
But no, that's my thing. Like my dad wants to talk about stuff, and then other people do too. And I'm like, what are you gonna? You can talk about it, you can get mad, you can blame who the fuck you want, but at the end of the day,
because there's a difference between talking about Russia invading the Ukraine, because your discussion it's not like you're talking to Putin about it,
right?
And maybe you can sway him. It's a difference between talking about actual social issues that we have in this country that are important, because you could maybe affect some change in your fellow citizen, but you're talking to me about the Ukraine is like, it sucks for the Ukraine, and I'm sure we'll help them out because that's what the fuck we do. But I mean, I'm whatever. I'm not changing anything about it.
No, not at all.
I'm gonna buy my gas once a week and fuss about it, and
go on with it.
Right. Yeah. And but hey, so the liquor store over here close that I tend to buy from now. Oh, is that where you got them from? Okay. I saw a news article, a local news article about them, and the headline was, local liquor store won't sell Russian vodka.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, really? There's a local liquor store that won't sell Russian vodka because of this.
Right.
And I started reading the article to find out, hold on, Trevor, we'll get to that in a second. And found out it's not because of this. It's because something that Russia did, I don't know, 8 years ago, Russia was in the middle of something, and they just took a stand, and they've still never brought in any Russian alcohol to sell. And it's that liquor store.
That's funny. I had no
idea.
idea.
It is.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It makes me kind of want to go up there. No, it's just an interesting thing what people, I mean, because I don't think it's hurting the Russian economy for them to do that, but whatever.
But okay, you can say what you want about the fucking Russians, but you can't tell me that watching crazy driving videos from Russia isn't a stalwart of American culture.
Yeah, but it makes how does their I was going to say, how does their military thrive or excel with everyone driving like that in Russia and just jumping in front of vehicles to cash a check? Right. And maybe that's it. Maybe they're preparing themselves for war by jumping in front of vehicles and driving fucking crazy. I mean, Russians are nuts, man.
Crazy, man.
Oh my God. All right. Trevor says, will America involve themselves in the fight, not just sanctions? And Russia is second in the world in oil supply. Don't know what the rest of that says. After Saudi Arabia. Yeah. So
if it profits us, we will. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. I mean,
but they'll have to do something to get American opinion up enough to involve them in the war.
Sure.
Which, well, I say they have to. That's what traditionally has been done. But we're in a different place now than we were even during the whole 9/11 time. A much more divided nation.
For sure.
Yeah.
Over different things, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because consistently over the years, America has, for the most part, any large scale war, to get America, the public opinion on the side of going to war, have always allowed something to happen on American soil, to turn opinion to.
Right.
Like whether it's like a lot of people think with like Pearl Harbor was one. They knew this shit was coming.
Yeah.
They didn't know what, but they let it the fuck happen. 9/11 was the same way. I don't think it was an inside job, like conspiracy that goes, but I
don't know though. Jet fuel don't melt steel beams. So that's
right. I didn't say that. But I mean, there's a lot of shit. Like I don't claim to know one way or the other, but I can say without a shadow of a doubt that they allowed it to happen.
If the earth were round, they wouldn't have been able to fly the planes into the building.
This is true.
Because everyone knows
buoyancy.
No one training in those mountains and living in caves knows how to figure out trajectory around a round earth.
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
Very easy.
Well, that's why they hijacked the planes locally, so they just had to fly in a straight line.
That's true. It's an interesting thing it's interesting thing how so many of them learned how to fly a plane, and no one thought to go, you guys don't want to know how to land a plane? Yeah. Like it's a very strange
a lot
thing.
of the training was done on flight simulators.
Yeah, but a lot of it, there was also a lot of hands-on done down in, I want to say it was in Florida or something like that. But I guess I had heard that there was some, there are definitely people that gave lessons and were like, I never really thought about they didn't want to land that plane.
Yeah.
It's like, well, why not? What did you do? Take them up and they're like, wait, teach me to fly. And you teach them how to fly, and it got ready to land. Like, all right, you take over again.
Yeah.
So hopefully Doc and Marty can go back to save us from a horrible future.
Nah.
Probably not, because I think the government seized all the DeLorean shit when he was running coke in the door panel.
So I can tell you what, the only reason I'm going back in time to see Mary Magdalene was fucking hot.
I mean, she was definitely slutty. So, I mean, based on the stories you hear, she was a prostitute, a lady of the sex worker. Excuse me, a lady of the night.
Don't slut shame on the
I
show.
know. I'm not slut shaming her. She's going to heaven, or she's in heaven. I said that as if she's still alive. But anyway,
I just inhaled that goddamn rum.
Oh yeah,
fuck. I want to finish this so I can move on to another fucking bottle.
Do you?
Yeah.
Hitting it early. All right.
Oh, it's just that bad.
Yeah. So you remember me telling you about my daughter dating this guy?
Yeah.
Right. So she broke up with him.
Okay.
And he cried about it.
What a bitch. Let me go ahead and say that. What a bitch.
And they worked together.
How long were they together?
4 months.
Yeah, bitch.
And only 2 of them seriously.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I know.
He was titmatized, dude.
It must have been something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. I don't know. Would you rather travel to the past or to the future? Oh man, that's a hard. Probably the past.
100% the past, especially if I could stay there.
Well, not even that, but if I could Biff Tanner and go back and bet some money on, like, the World Series or something like that, or whatever, on anything, whatever, and come back and be rich. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So see, we have a whole different reason for wanting to go.
Why do you want to go back there?
Just
participate
to commit.
in the atrocities that this country is involved in.
No. My thought has always been, if you go back in time to like the 1700 or I'm sorry, 1800s, like Wild West, mid 1800s or 1900s, and with any modern tech, and just fucking be a criminal goddamn overlord, you could live like a fucking king. They have no technology. You can murder, kill. You're getting away with all that shit.
Yeah,
it's fucking fantastic.
I would definitely like,
because now that I know
Robin Hood it.
Yeah, well, now we know where all their hideouts and shit were from historical evidence. I just go back and rob all those bitches.
Sure.
Yeah.
Carry some modern guns and shit with you. Yeah,
I was actually talking to Amanda earlier. I was like, dude, if you could go back in time to the Wild West time with a fucking motorcycle and a fucking motorcycle and like a fucking, like, fucking semi-automatic fucking side piece and a modern shotgun, you'd be king of the goddamn world.
You definitely would. Take me back to 99. I got married in 99. I graduated high school and got married in 99, Trevor.
Yeah, so if I could go back in time, I'd go back to 1998 and stop that wedding.
There would have been nothing to stop in 98. We weren't even talking about getting married.
No, I'd have murdered Krista.
Oh, I see what you said. Okay, I got you. Yeah. All right. Well,
they didn't have the technology at that time to track down murderers.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Well,
no.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Would you go forward or backwards in time?
What if you went back in time? If you had more than one use, and just went back to all the people you fucking hate in your life, right? Like, go back in time when their mom was pregnant, pop out of the portal, punch him in the fucking stomach, and then hop back in and go, and see how many people that you like or that you don't like are gone.
That would definitely be interesting. The problem is do you believe in the butterfly effect? Something like that.
Yeah, probably.
That, are you going to come back and we're going to be in World War X now because one person that was a dick died?
Yeah.
Going back to party in the but wouldn't be
so much cocaine.
Good. So much cocaine, so much AIDS.
Yeah, so much AIDS. I feel like going back to anything in the last like 40 years is a very narrow-minded view of time travel.
I mean, but I don't want to have to deal.
Well, I guess it's assuming you're going to, like, if it's a one-shot deal, maybe, I don't know. But if it's a multiple, like, I have all kinds of shit. I would wreak havoc in the timelines.
What's the first timeline what's the first time period you would go back to? No, regardless of what you're gonna do, what's the first? I mean,
just I don't know. Well, here's the question though with that. So is it like a Back to the Future-esque time machine where you go back and you're in the same location where you traveled, right? Or do you have to be physically in the same place? Or is it like a time travel, like, but you can, like, follow time travel, I could be here and then in London in 1822. Right. Which kind of time machine are we talking about?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if you go back too far and we're sitting here, then fuck, I'm in the woods and there's no one around.
Right,
like, that
true.
fucking sucks.
That's true. Yeah. So let's just say you can put in your coordinates.
Yeah.
Your time, your date and your coordinates. I can't go back past the 70s. It would not be good for me. Yeah, that's true. You can put that on. That's true. That is true, Trevor. I don't know. You could probably go back to 68. I wouldn't travel too far past that, but yeah.
there's other places globally that, not just, but in America, yes, I would 100% agree. That would be a terrible idea.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know that the UK was much better.
Yeah.
But anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
I would like to go back to the first time a caveman hit a cave woman over the head and be like, hey. We don't do that. We don't do that.
Okay.
You have to ask her.
Okay.
I would want to go so many places. Yeah. Obviously, the kid in me wants to go see what the dinosaurs actually looked like.
Yeah.
I would definitely love.
Well, they were a
that.
hoax.
Maybe
to put here for scientists to help make us believe in evolution and ignore God.
Okay.
According to Kenneth Ham.
Okay. All right.
I mean, if you're going past 6,000 years, you're just going into nowhere because God hadn't created the earth yet.
That's true. Can you travel back in time to God creating the earth and watch it happen? Or is that before time, so you can't travel there?
I don't know. What about the moment after?
Maybe you could travel to day 2.
Yeah.
The first day, whenever he created the heavens and the earth.
Maybe that's actually how the human population spread without excessive amount of like horrible incest between Adam and Eve. Sure. There is like
time traveler.
There's a time traveler fucking like trains being run on Eve, popping out them babies. Adam's like, how are you pregnant again? It's like, it's just we're the Garden of Eden. It's just
God, man.
God. It's all God. Where really there's like some fucking ugly ass ginger headed fucking dude traveling back in time. Like, I'm tapping that fucking ass.
Yeah, that's the incest thing in Bible's always been a baffling thing to me.
Well, and it's justified so many ways.
How?
What's that?
And justify it for me.
No. I mean,
I don't know. No one's ever tried to make that, but I've also not made the argument with too many people.
Well, no. So
you have Adam and Eve, and I'm
loosely paraphrasing,
and those kids are related. How are you getting more kids?
I'm loosely paraphrasing, so don't quote me here. I'm not pulling exact scriptures, but how it was explained to me loosely is it's kind of like before sin. Because it was before sin, before the fall, it had a whole different ramification. You didn't have the same.
Only have a set number of chromosomes,
right?
Like you couldn't get that extra.
No, exactly. It essentially was like part of all of that shit that happened was.
Steven wants to be Adam, the first man to stroke a vagina.
Yeah, no, I want to be first man to
strokes a vagina. He's like,
But no, I would. But no, this explained to me. So because it was pre-sin. It wasn't sin, and therefore the human body wasn't.
I'm not even talking about it from a sin perspective. I'm just more talking about it from
no. But this is how it was being justified because incest, because sin hadn't taken affected in the human bodies yet.
I see.
So the bodies were still perfection, created in the image of God. So if they procreate,
still weird. And fucking your sister,
yeah,
or your
but I'm
kid.
saying that's how it was explained to me that it wasn't incest then because it was just humans multiplying.
I mean, but by definition, it's still incest. It's just not. But it's not having a negative effect.
But they're
on
saying,
the
but
offspring.
we can't understand because it was pre-sin. So it wasn't. Sure. It was kind of like they weren't aware they were naked because. It has nothing to do with sin anyway, but they were ashamed. But so all that the things that we would correlate with sin and with inappropriate, all that shit didn't exist.
That makes complete sense to me. Like if it's before sin, then nothing is having a negative effect on the human body. Right. So incest wouldn't have, it's still incest, but it wouldn't have a negative of you wouldn't have.
But it wouldn't have the same in that regard either, the same emotional effect or the same skewed whatever. Because if everything's pure and nothing's about sin, it's not based on lust, it's not based on anything like that. It's just
that's true.
So that's how it was generally described, which still is fucking insane. But
but that's one of the more logical explanations I've heard Christians make about anything.
Yeah,
though.
For sure.
That's interesting. I've never heard that before. I'll go back to England in the 1600s with Arsenal and become the legendary black guy they tell camp stories about. So Napoleon had a black general, which is interesting. Interestingly enough, but whatever. Yeah, I'd like to go back and see Genghis Khan.
Okay, see, you just want to see. Like, my whole thing is to be able to like build my own comfort.
No, I want to do that as well. But before I do that and get caught up in all the ins and outs of that, I want to go back and see some shit. Do not do it, Lando. Yeah, there was a guy, and they called him a legend. Landover legend. Where the fuck's Landover? Who fucking knows? But that's what they called him, and you didn't dare question
He got caught in a land war.
Yeah, Landover, because he mowed your land over.
Right.
Took your shit. No, I would definitely, before I set myself up to be king of, 1863.
Yeah, see, what I would do is I would cautiously go forward into the future. A little bit at a time, because you don't want to come in a post-apocalyptic and like step out of the time machine and burn to death because the sun is fucking scorched earth type of shit. So you go a little bit at a time, cautiously figure out until you get far enough up where everybody's still around and they have like massive like handheld weapons that can just like demolish. That's how world peace has been achieved, because anybody could basically suck your entire fucking country into a black hole with this gun.
Sure.
Then I'm taking those and going back. We're not like reload because it's like plasma charged or what the fuck ever, or use the fucking EMF from the Earth's core to charge their fucking ammunition so you don't run out. Then you go back in time and you start fucking just taking shit over.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's interesting because if you follow the Star Wars thing, Star Wars was long ago.
Right.
So if you go back, if you stick with some of the sci-fi stuff and you go back, you could end up where the weapons are more advanced.
Yeah, it's true.
So
that's one of the many theories about Atlantis and shit like that. And I find it interesting
I'd
too.
go fuck a mermaid.
Ooh. No.
You wouldn't? Come on.
No.
You wouldn't fuck a mermaid.
Because real mermaids are fucking like devilfish.
How do you know?
They're evil and they eat souls.
You don't know that.
You don't read enough fantasy novels.
You're right. I don't read any. Not enough. I don't read any. Yeah. Not any, but come on.
There would be much rejoicing.
What if 20 years in the future and the planet is gone?
Okay.
You couldn't really go into the future then, could you, though, if the planet's gone, right? I guess time still goes on for the other planets.
Yeah.
If there is a such thing as other planets.
Yeah. Well, a lot of this too is taking the consideration of time being linear and not being layered or like a flat circle.
So do you think that when we eventually have a quote time machine, that we will have a time machine that will jump timelines? Do you think that developing that technology, you can't help but develop that thing where you can jump time? You're not on the same timeline. You can jump timelines,
right?
Forward,
well, again,
back,
that's
sideways.
Because there's been some evidence for like multiverses and shit, and that's kind of what that. See, I don't know, because conceptually a timeline
they can bend that shit over, Trevor.
I don't know. It just, again, there's so many different theories of how time travel shit would work. Whether it's bending, like essentially taking a wormhole between 2 points and shortening, basically bending the piece of paper
horizon.
Right. Or whether it's literally just jumping. Are you jumping in the same time space continuum? Or are you jumping into a different one? I don't know. But I've also read some shit on it recently that part of
multiverse theory. Yes.
Some, yeah. But they're not necessarily the same. But
right. Sure.
But multiverse theory is interesting to me anyway. But regardless, some of the shit I've read more recently about time machines is it's becoming more and more of a possibility, but they say it's almost impossible to jump forward in time, but backwards in time is easier.
I mean, because
maybe I have that flag. One direction is nearly goddamn impossible. They said,
I would think that forward, because technically in the time we're in right now, forward hasn't happened yet.
Right.
But yeah. But if you were here and you jumped to 10 years ago, you could jump back to here, which is jumping forward, but you can only go so far. That's just my idiocy talking.
Yeah.
But anyway. Yeah.
But anyway,
interesting.
But the multiverse theory is interesting. It's also interesting to me that the whole thought of like every decision you make is just keeps you on whatever trajectory, and there's also 1,000 other infinite possibilities that have already decisions have been made and they all exist simultaneously and they're all going on. Like, the shit's fucking I don't know. I love it.
Darkest timeline episode.
Fucking all of Rick and Morty.
All of Rick and Morty. Which was going to be the next question was, do you think that is going on? Do you understand there's no real proof of it, but do you think that that's going on?
I don't know. It depends. You could justify it.
I'd like to think it is.
Yeah, but the funny thing is you can almost explain that or justify it from various religious standpoints, which is interesting to me with that. But I don't know. I don't know if it's an actual thing. Like, part of me thinks, especially if time is a non-linear construct.
Yeah.
That means, and that wouldn't be so much multiverse as much as everything in your life happening simultaneously. Like, so everything that you are now is everything that you were and everything that you will be type of thing.
Sure.
It's just this weird, like, evolution, the string evolution. But
so no, deja vu is a glitch in the matrix. not our lives clashing with the other universes. I don't think.
But then there's also, but like with deja vu, that takes into account that, like, if everything is connected energetically, and I'm talking about not in a meditation type of energetically, but I mean like string theory, right? If one atom's turning here, a billion light years at the same atom's turning. So if there's all kind of interconnects there, then your brain at some point, or somebody, you might be.
Well, if the different versions of you are interconnected, that you could.
Well, I was thinking, and even though so much the versions of us, but like if you and I as human beings have, what I'm looking for, God damn it, quantum entanglement is the word I was looking for. Sorry.
Okay.
So if you've had a situation that you've seen, right, and I come across a similar situation just by proxy, that might register something I've seen before, just because at a string theory level, we've both experienced the same thing, right? That's another thought behind it. You know, I don't know. There's no way to prove it. It makes, but honestly, like a multiverse type of theory makes way more sense to me than like a heaven and hell and one solid endpoint.
Well, yeah. Why is that?
What's that?
Why is that? Why does that make more sense to you?
Because when you start getting a multiverse too, then like a type of reincarnation and a karmic wheel starts making a little more sense as well, because it's all just ever repeating, ever going in multiple directions, and they're a little different, but I don't know. Like because if you look at time as a flat disc, right, then it never fucking ends. There's not a beginning point. There's not an end point. There's just a reabsorption back into the line, and then whatever. And so I don't know. I like the thought of it. It seems just as possible to me as a beginning and end, heaven and hell, than just as probable.
But what if the beginning and end is just a human's life? Like, what if time is a flat disc, but humans travel across it, and then they get off of that flat disc, and that they're done, rather than reincarnation, but time is still running on that flat disc, and more are coming in and more going out, and whatever. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Stay on topic,
T. With flight myself, I actually think I prefer teleportation. I think I would prefer that to flight, because technically you could fly if you can teleport. Yeah, but that's me. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. I don't know, but I to me too, though, as far as a going in with time, and this outside the multiverse, just as far as time running, like to me, as far as a spiritual, not practice, being a spiritual belief system, like reincarnation makes the most sense to me as far as life and death is concerned.
Hold on a minute. Say that again.
As far as supernatural life beyond this one, if you're not looking at just light snuffed out, you're gone for fucking ever, right? Just gone. No heaven, no hell, just darkness. Reincarnation makes much more sense to me as a belief system than like heaven, hell, Christianity, like a fucking solid endpoint. Reincarnation makes way more sense to me.
So does just the light snuffed out make more sense than any of it?
No, because that's where the unknown comes into me, right? Like I can't say one way. Like those two are kind of equal for making sense to me. But
so what about the argument that some people make that you don't remember before you were born,
right?
So why is it there? Why would we think that there's anything after we're dead, like reincarnation or anything like that?
Well, it's the same thing, because and again, all this is anecdotal, right? Because there's no scientific way to see a lot of this shit or to study it, because it's all outside of our understanding of existence. But there's a lot of belief that goes into like when you essentially die, and you start over. There's a black space there. So like when you die, you have all this shit, and then when you're born, essentially that shit fucking, because the two knowledge planes can't exist together, basically, like where you have all this cosmic shit where you're aware of all this and you can't.
So what about the people that say they remember parts of a
that's
past
what I was
life?
But that's what I was getting to, is like there are some memories from that stay, and it's mostly in kids. You don't hear too many adults say that shit. Like I've told you a story about Jude, and shit like that. So that's why I was going to go with anecdotally makes more sense to me, because there's a lot of fucking crazy shit that kids have said they're 100% factually accurate to their surroundings. That has happened time and time again. And there's no way to study.
Do you feel like you could debunk those kids if you wanted to?
No.
Interesting. Yeah. I expected you to say yes.
No.
Okay.
No. And it's been tied in some of the stuff, really vague shit. But there's a lot of vague shit that happens, you know, that you can't get into or that you can't really prove or disprove, right? Because I've heard a lot of stuff with the kids. They'll say along the lines of, well, they probably overheard something, or they could have, you know, kids are smart, they pick up on shit and whatever. But then you start getting stuff that there's no way some fucking kids could have known, like, even because it's just not shit that gets talked about on a regular basis. And that's where it gets interesting to me with some of that stuff.
Sure.
And then like I said, that shit with Jude that one time I was like, what the fuck? Because that was out of nowhere. And it was a very serious thing. He wasn't joking or something he'd seen on TV. That was like a straight up, like, because you know when your kid's talking serious or talking crazy when they're that little. But anyway, I know it's all interesting. I just feel like that the whole heaven and hell thing, right? It's a punishment versus reward system that's been used to keep humans in check from fucking millennia for kids on up, right? It's the same. It's a grander eternal version of, hey, do this or I'm going to spank you. Like, right? Like, oh, you do this, I'm going to whip your ass. You do this, you're going to get some fucking candy.
Yeah.
Like,
or if you do this, I'm going to whip your ass for the rest of your life.
Right.
or you're going to eat candy.
Yeah. It's the adult version of that shit. It's control, right? Whereas having more of a natural, I don't know, because even the thing, and not to get off on Christianity and shit, but going into that, I don't know. It's been used for control so much. And if you believe that God, if there is a God, a Christian God that's logical and created everything, right? So you're looking around you. And so based on just that observation alone, God's got to be logical as fuck because everything's in a system. Everything works together. There's very specific systems that are in place that you can't argue about. So if God's logical enough to put all those fucking things into place, and don't give me the God's ways are higher than our ways, brother. But what
I hate that. I've been told that so many times.
What I'm saying is, so if you take the same logic that goes into everything and you apply that to the Christian opinions on the afterlife and heaven and hell, they don't fucking line up at all.
I got you.
And that always has bothered me. But and I hate the term reincarnation because it's really associated with Buddhism and whatever. But like what he was saying, like like almost like a loop theory, but where it's basically like, and the purpose of it, you can dissect and you could discuss that, whether it's the purpose of like evolving yourself to a type of enlightenment, or it's just how the fuck it is. Like you're here, you do this, you're reborn, and you start the process because we're all stuck in some kind of weird fucking loop. I don't know. That's why I like the whole absurdist mindset.
No. It's funny. I mean, it's interesting, but I don't know. T said, would you rather be in heaven by yourself for eternity or in hell with your friends and loved ones? I think we would have the same answer for different reasons. Mm-hmm. What's your answer?
For what?
What I just said to you.
I didn't listen to you.
Would you rather be in heaven by yourself for eternity or in hell with your friends and loved ones?
Do I have to pick one or can I take a pass on both?
No, you have to pick one.
Well, okay. Well, we'll go with the and see, but this is also implying that we have the same idea of heaven and hell.
Sure.
Yeah.
But as
I'd go in heaven by myself rather than getting raped in the asshole for eternity, if that's what the fuck it's coming down to.
Well, sure.
Burn with hot sticks and shit.
Whatever we're taught that heaven and hell is, whatever. And see, so I assumed you would pick heaven because you don't want to be around anybody.
Well, that too. But also not getting raped in the ass by hot pokers would be fucking fantastic.
Sure. But I would pick heaven because I don't want to hear my friends and loved ones complaining about how hot it is in hell. So anyway, is God a being? Trevor wants to know. Pastor, is God a being?
Sure.
What the fuck are you doing?
I'm looking up something to talk about. God damn it.
Well, then just tell me that.
I did while you're talking. I'm looking something up.
Oh, well, you can't talk to me while I'm talking.
I know.
All right,
exactly.
Time for another bottle. Oh, you haven't even finished yours yet.
I know, because I've been waiting on you. But no, guys, God is a being, maybe. Fucking, I don't know. Is I don't know. That's also assuming that there is an absolute creator as well. You're not fucking know.
It's fine. I'm not going to show you what I got. I'm not even going to look at what I got until you pull whatever out that you're getting.
Here's the other thing about God. All right, one, two, three.
Parrot Bay coconut rum.
Oh, peanut butter fucking whiskey. God damn it. I hate you so much. I almost got some of this too, but you would like it, and that's the thing.
No, it's not that I like it. It's that I don't hate it. Heaven alone. Yeah. Trevor says heaven alone. So, Parrot Bay 90 proof coconut rum.
Yeah. See, with my thing with a lot of this shit is I have no problem. Like, I know what I don't believe, right? But I can't eloquently debate or even discuss what I do believe, right? Because they're just ideas, and I wouldn't put my life on the line for one. You know what I mean? Like I'm like,
Sure.
I don't know. But so there's a lot of shit I don't know, but there's a few things that like I'm pretty certain that's a nah, and that's where I,
Now, can I mix this like rum and Coke?
No.
Well, I'm just asking.
No.
That's why I wanted to ask before I did it. Maybe hell is being stuck in traffic for eternity or sitting in a boring meeting at work.
No, man, hell would be doing this podcast for fucking the rest of eternity. That's hell. With just me and you. God damn it, this smells. Fuck you.
That's pretty bad too.
Yeah, but it's not peanut butter whiskey bad.
It's like you're drinking what's the Panama Jack? It's like you're drinking Panama Jack sunscreen.
Yeah, I got the cheapest one they had too.
Try it.
And it's 90 proof.
I know. Try it.
If you've had that.
Well, I'll try it anyway, but still. It tastes like Panama Jack sunscreen smells.
Much success. I'm glad we both fucked each other over on this.
Yeah.
So how about you, belief system wise? Yep. Like, do you have, and we don't have to go into it, but do you have anything firm that's like, yes, this is what I believe? Or are you more of like, you have general areas that you think you believe, but it's more, like I said, for me, it's more of, I know what I don't believe.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of uncertainties because I think that shit's way too big to, if you're taking a definite answer, like, no, this is how it is. Yeah. You don't fucking know shit.
I'm the Q part of the LGBTQ, queer and questioning.
Queer and questioning?
Yeah. Okay. No. I mean, I believe that there's a higher being.
Mm-hmm.
In what sense it is, I don't know.
Right.
And it's not important to me.
Okay.
I question everything I've been taught.
Right.
Well, because it's the old saying, question half of what you see and none of what you
right.
Half of what you see and none of what you hear.
Right.
Or whatever. And that's kind of the thing for me. It's
Yeah.
all based on experiences and what I believe or what I believe is not the right word, but what I kind of move toward and try to figure out is only things based on my experience, and not what I've been taught or told.
You can't see the curve, so
that's that. Well, no, hold on. Yeah, for sure. If you can't see the curve, that's true.
No, I mean, like,
I'm going to get on a plane.
Like, look at this. See how it looks like it's further away.
I know. You're right. You're right. It should technically be gone out of my sight. It should technically be gone. I shouldn't be able to see it or the sun.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell you, speaking of the sun and that bullshit of moving further away, it's interesting to me that how far the sun is away from us, that what we do see, we see the sun. I can't remember what the number is, but how long ago what we see actually happened based on how far away it is. That's the kind of shit that blows my mind about shit. Yeah. Not whether the earth is round or square or whatever.
So I wanted to read something. I was looking for the right little passage, and this kind of just a general summary, but I've mentioned more than once being like, I kind of tend to fall along the philosophy of absurdism, right? And I've never defined that for anyone listening, all of fucking two people, but I didn't have I read it before on here?
I don't remember if you've read it on here, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So in absurdist philosophy, the absurd arises out of the fundamental disharmony between the individual search for meaning and the meaningless of the universe. So in absurdist philosophy, there are also two certainties that permeate human existence. The first, that humans are constantly striving towards the acquisition or identification with meaning and significance. And it seems to be an inherent thing in human nature that urges individuals to define meaning in their lives. The second certainty is that a universe's silence and indifference to human life give the individual no assurance of any such meaning, leading to an existential dread within themselves. So it's basically the whole absurdist is expecting to find anything. It's just an absurd idea. So it's not quite nihilism. It recognizes the fact that there are things, and as humans, we want to find it, but the fact is we're never going to, and that's just a crazy fucking thing. More like anybody that says they, that they have it and all the answers is. And my thing is, like, you might find something that works for you, right?
Sure.
If you have found something that brings you peace, that doesn't hurt other people, and helps you to understand your place in the world, fucking good on you. I'm 100% in support of that. But as soon as you start trying to cram it down somebody else's throat, figuratively or literally, based on that belief system, then you're fucking wrong immediately. So,
yeah. If you'd asked me before the show started if we'd be talking about this stuff tonight, I would have never guessed that we'd been talking about this.
No, that's Trevor being a fucking cunt.
So what he comes up with is
him sitting up his TV. His TV turd. You just spit on the goddamn keyboard.
I did. On the keyboard, I thought it hit the table. I thought it hit right there.
It's so sweet, man. God, it's so sweet.
I'll trade you.
No.
All right.
They're equally as bad.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway. Do you guys eat before the pod or after? I ask because y'all are drinking multiple liqueurs. I always eat a little bit before the show.
I typically eat a little bit.
But you're always at home too, so if you don't.
Sure.
But I've also statistically, I've gotten way more drunk way more often than you have on the show.
Sure.
Let me rephrase it.
Drinking the same amount too.
Drink the same amount in general. Yeah. So
Yeah, I was surprised at how much of that suicide bottle I drank and didn't feel anything. Actually, zero hangover the next day, which is very surprising.
Yeah. I'll probably have hangover tomorrow. That's why I took the Excedrin before. And like anytime I mix shit, I get a headache or anything that's sweet.
Really? And
if it's sweet, if it's sweet, I get a headache every time.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. So I know to only get
sweet things. Yeah. But Jay, it is weird though, because usually if we're drinking toe to toe, I can hold my own. But on this fucking show, I have consistently gotten more drunk with you on the same amount of booze.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's weird.
I don't get it.
Yeah. Maybe it's the pacing at which we drink. I don't know.
But we're still drinking the same amount over the same amount of time.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
Close to the same amount anyway. But
I think because there's sometimes, depending on what you've drank, that I've definitely drank more. There's times that I've definitely. Yeah, I think if I have this internal feeling that I need to hang with whoever we're interviewing, I tend to drink more.
That's true. I think you definitely, because you were taking shots of whiskey every time Mike Curley was taking a sip of beer. Yeah, and that was not good.
It was not good. It's a good episode.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So I don't know, whatever. So I've got some
goddamn bad.
I've got some news articles we'll go over when we come back from break, but really quick, and this is not important at all.
Okay.
I just found it interesting is too strong of a word. But I heard, I saw a video clip where Denzel Washington was saying how you actually pronounce his name.
Okay.
It's actually pronounced Denzil.
Denzel,
like Denzil.
Stupid.
Instead of Denzel.
Really?
I thought that was odd.
That is fucking weird.
He's immediately not nearly as attractive.
No.
Yeah.
And he is
I don't know that he would have ever gotten a job if he would have introduced himself as Denzel Washington.
Yeah. Denzel.
Yeah.
I will. It's a little close to Vin Diesel for me.
Is it?
But do you know, I thought about this during the last episode with them, and I wasn't going to say anything because the guy's an asshole and I don't want to boost his ego anymore. You know who looks a little like Denzel Washington?
Not Andre.
Fucking Evan. From Dumbass Dudes.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. Not old Denzel. Like younger Denzel, and it's not like a spitting image, but there's some very Denzel qualities there, and like it makes me a little tingly in the britches when I talk to him. Sometimes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know, so we actually need to discuss a little bit of the dumbass dude.
We do.
Dumbassery.
We do.
Because
I feel like I didn't feel defensive by in the imagination. I felt like you guys misunderstood some shit is what I felt like with some of it, but yeah.
So I'll pull a clip while we're on break. I'll pull a clip of their show where they talked about us discussing something with them.
I like it.
And we'll discuss a little bit of the dumbassery but hurtery.
Yep.
So
I'm more Denzel. He looks like Samuel L. Oh, that's just harsh, man.
He said, you think, Trevor, surely you don't really think you look like Denzel Washington. I know somewhat. No, I've been on a couple of shows with a guy who pitches himself as a Denzel Washington lookalike.
Really?
And he looks absolutely nothing like Denzel Washington.
Like, I'm going to throw out, I think Trevor's a good looking dude. He's no Denzel.
No, Denzel, but no.
Love you, Trevor. You're a good looking man.
And you know exactly who I'm talking about. That's the Denzel lookalike who looks nothing like Denzel. At all.
But I'm just saying
they have two things in common.
Right. Yeah, but I'm just, to build Trevor up, I'd smack them cheeks. Is all I'm saying.
I got you. Yeah. Okay. We got to make sure his tooth doesn't hurt as much because the vibration.
Well, dude, there's nothing that'll take care of a toothache like a protein injection. Is all I'm saying.
That could be true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, let's take a quick break.
Yep.
And we'll be back in roughly 10 minutes.
Yes, sir. Hey, we're back.
So
I feel like I've gotten better at doing and multitasking this than I used to be as far as moderately paying attention.
You are, yes.
And I've hit record both times tonight, which is better than I've done in weeks.
It is.
So,
if I were in your position, I would just never not hit record. I would just go in and cut that 10 minutes out.
It's an extra step for me to do it. It's really, it's really not, but it's still.
I mean, it is an extra step, but you really can do it really quickly.
I know.
So,
well, what I do, but see, when I put the files on the computer, right, I make a folder for the episode name. And then in that, I have 2 folders, part 1, part 2. And I like when I export the shit off of the card from the Rodecaster, I like putting all the tracks from part 1 and part 2, so I have them separate. And this just, I like doing that better, so I don't have to, for organizational purposes. But yeah. All right. You need to finish that. Well, actually, you don't. Take your time, because we got a lot. We got 30 minutes to go.
30? You got an hour to go.
Oh, God damn it.
You got an hour, but you only got one more drink that you got to drink, so.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so.
Oh, that's rough. I'd rather have the suicide bottle than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I would rather have the suicide bottle
so
than
good
that.
about my decisions tonight, then.
I really would. Because I'm telling you, that suicide bottle, like neat, it's tolerable for sure.
Really? Okay.
I wouldn't want it every week, but I mean, it's tolerable.
Okay.
All right. So.
But I don't feel like, I mean, it was still bad. But the suicide bottle this time was not as bad as the first time.
We put more just straight Irish whiskey and bourbon.
That's what I'm saying. It was less. It was still terrible, but it was a little less terrible than the first time.
This is rough. That is rough.
Well, I'm glad you drew it, and it's not going into the suicide bottle at the end of the show.
That's true. Oh.
Which I feel like we should start incorporating at the end of the show, pouring our drinks into the bottle, which would need us a fun.
Yeah. There's two more of my picks are in that bag.
Yeah. Well, 3 more mine.
Sure.
So,
all right.
Before we dig into this, I wanted to say, and without giving it away, because we haven't officially announced anything yet, but
yes,
coming up actually in
April,
be the very first
2nd.
April, end of that, we have a very special first time episode that's coming up, and I want to start dropping more hints.
First time is in what, on site? Because that's not the first time.
No, the type of episode that we're going to be doing is the first of its kind for us.
Yes.
And it's going to be an evening of firsts, and in my opinion, it'll be the coolest episode we've done to date.
I don't know, the one at Rain's Tattoo Studio was pretty cool.
Fuck you, man. You're just trying to get me riled up. That's all you're trying to do. But I'm just saying, it's going to be a big episode for us. It might be our last episode. I don't know. But I'm just saying,
because we may kill each other on that one.
We're gonna be dropping some hints as it gets closer about what it is before we make the official announcement. But,
bitch.
But I'm excited about it.
So
yeah. So, all right. So we're about to get into a couple weeks ago. Our friends, the Dumbass Dudes, had an episode.
So, hold on. Let's go just a touch farther back.
I was about to. So we were guests on their show.
February 6th.
February 6th
is the episode we were on.
Right. And then in their most recent episode, they discussed having us on the show.
A little bit. Yeah.
A little bit. Well,
they discussed people's opinions of having us on, and then one of them had an opinion about something that you said.
Well, about me in general.
Well, somebody had an opinion about you, but then one of them had an opinion about something you said.
Right. But that was also included in his opinion of what I said. It was an overarching theme of me being a piece of shit, which I'm fine with. But I feel that I was a little unfairly represented.
Oh, okay.
Just
you think so?
No, not really. But my point being, what I was about to say is unlike those assholes, we're going to play you a clip that we're going to discuss for context.
Right. So this is their episode talking about our episode,
which is their newest episode, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. February 19th is when this episode released.
Check out Dumbass Dudes. They're good dudes.
Yeah. So don't know how loud this needs to be, but let's just
phone volume should be all the way up.
It is.
Yeah. Wow. Well, speaking of our parents, let's bring it up a bit. I told you guys that my mom listens to our show, right?
Yeah.
So she listened to our last episode with our friends from the B3F podcast, and she was like, "Those guys are so awful."
We are.
I was like, "No,
I would agree, Mrs. Tanner."
No, Benji. I supported
She
you.
was like,
Benji.
they were so awful. She was like, and all that cursing, and you were cursing, and she was like, and you didn't stand up for Jesus enough.
Yeah.
And I was like,
That's true. I was going to say
was
that.
like-
You did not say that.
You know what's funny?
all.
So Evan,
Can
I
we
know
still
we
just call
talked
him
about
Benji?
this earlier, but I had a feeling she might have brought that up. So I'm glad you brought this up.
but Benny, before you go, but I had to tell her, I was like, Mama, it's not. I said it was not a fight. It was not a battle where we were taking
Which is
sides.
true.
And we're going,
Completely
okay,
true.
I do
this
feel
is
like
what
that.
it needs to be. And this, I was like,
I feel like because I talked to you after the episode. Like I had a little rant, but then I pumped the brakes a bit because I didn't want it to go down. But I feel like after
You
talking about
definitely
this,
showed some restraint.
but I feel like what he's about to talk to a bit, he took it a little more personally than I
He
did,
definitely did.
which I think is wonderful. By the way,
Took it like a Southern Baptist.
like a Southern Baptist. Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So-
he felt attacked a little bit. Plus,
A
my
little bit.
language was offensive. Anyway,
Well,
continue.
but if you're not going to defend
Jesus.
the Christ child, then
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, all right, here we go.
everybody doesn't believe and feel the same way. I
Jesus
said,
would have fought for you.
Why wasn't Joel
Exactly.
funny on our episode?
I don't
Good
know.
one, Joel.
yes, he would have. I told her, and I was like, listen, I was like, it wasn't really for us to be there and be against each other. I said the point was to have these guys on and hear their opinions. I said I think they had unique opinions and views to it according to their experiences
Unique for a couple, I
and
guess.
where they
Yeah,
lived and how
absolutely.
they grew up
That's
in
how
the
I read
church.
that.
I was like, that was all basically it was. I said it wasn't necessarily a thing where it's like, all right, now the gauntlet's thrown down and there's a challenge and I'm going to try to out Jesus you and you're going to try to out
We were
devil me.
basically the Moors, and they were.
No,
They weren't pro devil.
my
To be fair,
we just faded here. It's fine. But my instincts wanted to go into battle mode. That's for sure, and that's why I pumped the brakes on that shit.
Sure.
So anyway, I found it. Yeah, continue.
Know what they were.
What were you going to say, Benny? What were you going to
No.
say?
So I had a similar thought too. When I was thinking back on the episode,
Mhm.
our friend Steven, he
Mhm.
made a comment, and I actually took the time to re-listen to the episode because I didn't want to take his
that's
words.
thought-provoking
out of context.
conversation is what I like to
But
call
basically,
Right.
what he said was he said a statement where he said the Catholic Church has been responsible for more atrocities than the
Yes.
entirety of human history.
Well, hold on.
There were some
What I
were some-
said was I did say that, but I also said that Catholicism and Islam have been responsible for the
Yeah.
most. I tied them together.
I think you said Islam is pretty far up there as well.
Yeah. Well, no, I think I said Islam and the Catholic Church, or Islam and Christianity have been the two most destructive forces.
Sure.
Because as soon as I said Islam, everybody went, "Oh, yeah."
Yeah, because you're not allowed to say that.
But
Yeah.
they did talk about them separately, but I also lumped them
Rest
together.
in peace, Charlie Hebdo.
Exactly. God damn it.
All right.
All right.
Here's the rest.
cuss words in there that I omitted. And then I thought about that because when he said that, I was like, at the time, I was like, okay, that may be right, but that
Question that faith, Benny.
I
It's
wasn't
the first
100% sure, so I
First
just
step to
let that
freedom.
slide. But then I conferred my good friend Google right after the show and tried to look that up.
You was shook.
And I looked up basically religious wars
Mhm.
and the number
Right.
of deaths from religious wars,
Mhm.
and
Okay.
then war deaths in general, right? Just
Mhm.
deaths in total from wars in general.
Mhm.
The 20th century had the most deaths,
Well, no shit.
which
And the most
is
people
this
as well.
the
Most people as well. That's what
or
I'm saying per capita,
previous,
not including modern
your
weaponry.
aunt's time. Basically, when your aunt was young. Anyways, I was looking at wars, and what registered in my head was because I didn't know how many people died from the Crusades, because that's pretty much where where all the whole all the holy wars were.
Which let me
So
go
I
ahead and
looked it
say the deaths that people suffered during the Crusades were pretty fucking atrocious in comparison to. Don't get me wrong, World War I, not pleasant deaths. Getting
Sure.
shot at close ranges, hacked with bayonets and shit, but not being burned to death in your homes while fucking Catholic soldiers marched around singing.
But at
Onward,
least they
Christian
led them to Christ first.
Soldiers. No,
I
because of the belief that you can save someone's soul after they die.
yes,
If they
I
wouldn't
forgot
convert,
about
they
that.
would kill them and then get them into heaven.
I got
So they had their best in mind.
I need you to see really quick that I've drank this and I'm just rinsing my glass with water.
That's fair.
So
Thank you. I'm witnessing this. All right. You ready? While we have this pause, let's go ahead and draw our next Jar next.
Sure. Hey, go ahead. I went first last time. What you got?
Oh, I got orange Jameson.
I almost got orange Jameson.
It's not great. It tastes like somebody took a piss in an old fashioned. I need more ice for this shit. Oh, fuck. Make up your mind there, bitch.
I know. I just want to feel every bottle first.
It's going to make it better.
Well, the problem is I know the two that I have left. I know what the bottle looks like and feels like.
See, that's cheating.
It's not cheating. It's I'm now torn. Do I want those to go into the suicide bottle or do I want to drink them?
Well, the two that are left that I
myself?
bought are going to be bad if they go in the suicide bottle too. So we're in a bad place. Jameson orange.
All right. Well, this has got to be one of yours because it doesn't feel like one of mine.
Oh, that is one of yours.
It is.
Goldschlager.
I thought that this was mine. It's not.
Oh, that's so much worse. That's got to go in the bottle.
I thought that this was what my Goldschlager bottle was. Oh,
that's terrible sweet liqueur.
Well, I'm glad I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Goldschlager.
What is in here left? What is left in here, I should say. Oh, you didn't get the really bad one. Old Smoky fucking strawberry cream.
That may go bad before I drink it.
It's going to. It's going to be bad in the bottle, but the alcohol will kill bacteria.
Maybe I'll have to refrigerate that bottle.
Nah.
Goldschlager. You know, when I bought it, I didn't see all the gold flakes. Yeah. I was like, oh, I feel gypped. But
that's racist.
What is gypped? What is that from?
Gypsied.
Gypsy. Oh, fuck that. Gypsy is not a race.
It's a people group.
It's a people group, but not a race.
Well, technically, there are no race. The human race
like
is
calling
the only race.
That's like calling Jews white.
Right.
They're not. I get to drink gold. I love
try a sip of this. I've had this before. Well, let's cheers our fucking shit drink and then
fuck Goldschlager, man. I really thought that Saint Germain was the Goldschlager, and that's why I didn't grab it. Cheers.
That's so much better than Goldschlager. Try some of that.
This is like the original Fireball.
See,
I thought I had bought some Fireball and thrown
see
in there.
this to me, it almost tastes like, Guggen, the shit you spray on. It tastes like Guggen smells, which is really fucking weird, but it's not good.
It smells really good.
It smells really good.
It smells really
when you
good.
taste
it smells like the Fast Orange hand cleaner too.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
It smells like. I mean, it tastes like orange peel, not orange.
Yeah. It's a really shitty old.
Hit that Goldschlager.
I've had Goldschlager.
I know you have.
You hadn't had that. I was sharing.
Oh, I'm sharing too. That's awful. Okay. All right. Here we go.
It's still better than Fireball.
Yeah. All right. Give me a second.
Yeah, let's get back into
that. All right. Here we go.
Yep.
It was 1 million deaths from the Holy Wars. Or the Crusades. There were, I'll even give him, there's this Conquista period that happened.
That's sweet of him to give me that.
Yeah, and then I'll even throw this in there, even though I don't think it's technically all religious dust, but the colonization of America. So if you add up all
count that.
If you add all that up, right? That's about 9 million deaths. Which is a lot of deaths. I'm not going to underplay that. That's a lot of deaths.
In the 16th century? Yeah, that's a lot of deaths.
Of Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
I looked in the 20th century. We had several wars during that time period. But going back, like looking throughout history, like
Benny talks like you do. God damn it.
One war that stood out, the Chinese, when they got conquered for communism, there were 60 million deaths in that war. So, and
wow, really?
Yes, and then, or actually,
so many jokes right now.
30
so many
million
jokes.
World War II, though.
I mean, I guess that's better.
World War II, though, 70 million deaths. So, and that was all in the name of majority of those deaths. Obviously, were because of the Holocaust, right? Which again ties to atheism, by the way. So,
no, it doesn't.
Anyways, I just wanted to say that. We don't do fake news on this show, but that was fake news.
That was an alternative fact.
So, Steven, you can suck it.
So, okay, let's pause it just a second. Just out of curiosity.
BS.
I get what he said and what he broke down on, right? do you feel like he was taken, or not out? He wasn't taken out of context. He was taken in the context he understood it in. But you know me well enough. I don't think that that's what I was alluding to when I was talking about total number of deaths or whatever. I was talking about the overall destruction and atrocities that the church
because I think your word was atrocities.
It was atrocities. And I think I also had in mind, and you probably know this, not only that, but the destruction that it's inflicted upon humanity, which I consider in with atrocities, which is more than just deaths.
What he's not considering, and we love you, Benny.
We do. I love all those guys.
Yeah, for sure. Joel, the jury's out on Joel because he's not come on here yet.
Yeah, he has a better beard than me, so I'll give him that points for that.
But the thing about it is while there are wars that were not considered holy wars, they were influenced by the Catholic Church.
Right. Well, there's also, on top of that, look at most of the rule of the Church of England during that time and the extreme measures they put the people through, the taxing the poor, like not allowing them to be educated, fucking executions, like all shit in the name of, and then go further back just to fucking Roman society when they fucking persecuted the Jews, when they persecuted the Jews. I mean, there's it's the Catholic Church is steeped in that. And I even just specified the Catholic Church. If you take it into account as the church as one thing, like Catholicism and Protestantism and all this shit, there's no fucking comparison how much fucking damage that shit's done.
Do you consider World War II a holy war since it was after a religious group of people?
No.
Okay. I don't either.
I don't.
I just wonder.
I don't. I feel like that they got singled out because of one person's belief. But a lot of that shit, though, even here's the thing about it too. Not the Holocaust, but like the World Wars, especially when America's involved.
God, this gives me heartburn.
What is one of the things that always gets put into play when America goes to war?
The U.S.
Yeah.
Okay. What? No, that's my answer. What's one thing that gets put into play when America goes to war?
Well,
the U.S.
Fucking asshole. I mean, what is one thing that's invoked? God, always.
Well, okay. I was going to say
Always.
Patriotism, but
but it's tied together in the States, which is a Christian influenced ideal. That might be splitting hairs, but anyway. But even if you just go strictly to the Catholic Church by itself, like the way they've been ingrained in government and the decisions that have made in suppressing certain people groups, they weren't that kind to the Jews either. They're Benevolent. So anyway, so for me, and like I said, we come from a similar background, and they go into it a little bit, which you'll hear about. Like our background might have skewed our viewpoints, and I think our backgrounds have caused more resentment in that viewpoint. But that doesn't separate or change the facts of how the church has operated. And I think one of the fundamental things, if we ever get to talk about this again with Benny, is digging into the fact of his viewpoint of what the church is, because our definitions are different, right? Just internally, like ours is the church is made up of people. His is the church is a conceptual thing, is the word, is whatever, which that in of itself isn't scriptural if you want to really dig into that bullshit. But
and I don't know enough about scripturally what the Catholics believe.
Yeah, I know pieces of it. Well, it varies, and just like anything else, it's conflicting and all kinds of other shit. Depends.
Sure.
It also depends on the sect of Catholicism, excuse me, and also where you consider the origins of Catholicism to be, because they consider themselves to be the one true original church as well.
Sure.
So anyway, continue the clip.
BS almost slipped there.
He must be giving up cursing for Lent.
Christianity is not responsible for the most deaths ever.
Fake news yourself there, Benjamin.
Get that out there. Correct it for myself, Jesus, and your mom, Mrs. Tanner. We're fighting a good fight here.
So good. I really would. So would you be interested in having them on and have a religious talk at some point?
I mean, sure.
Like,
I think it'd be fun.
Hard. That's right. Amen. Yeah, and I wonder too if that's
and this is just me, or does Evan come across as a major little bitch?
Of course, we
no,
I know. I'm joking.
Okay.
I'm just hoping he listens at some point. He's like, I wasn't a bitch.
Beyond that, I think he probably also feels like it's an ongoing thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm guessing that's what he means. He feels
Evan
like
almost said something specifically what I was thinking, and Benny shuts him down in a second.
The world because of the church. I don't know. Benny, don't you dare fucking look at me.
Don't do that.
I don't know.
He said that because he's in his warped mind. He's got something against the church, and he wants to just spit out all this fake stuff.
I have something about injustice, Benny.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Benny. I agree. I think it's very obvious that he and Joey both take very much issue with the church or Christianity in general. That's I don't think there's any dispute to that.
And I get roped into this.
Because you agreed with me.
Guilty by association.
I wish I had. Well, I didn't want to do it on this show, but like, I am curious to know like what it is, because they alluded to some, like I think it was Joey. He alluded to something like he has seen people within his church that kind of, I guess, gave him the wrong impression about religion. And
I could give you so many examples across denominations.
Yeah, so I was
leadership in
so many.
I kind of wanted to have him unpack that, but I didn't, and that's my only regret from that.
No regrets, buddy.
I will come on anytime and unpack every bit of that.
Because she basically said the same thing. She was like, I wanted to hear some more about that.
You know what? Evan's mom,
like,
you can come on our show anytime.
Well, I know. That's why.
Well, I made the offer.
Do it.
We'll talk to Benny again, and I won't say God damn it even once.
That's true.
I offered to do it with a non-cussy confrontational way.
That's funny.
Because I'm actually like, I listened to this, I wasn't even mad. I laughed my ass off. And part of me was like, I hate that I didn't get like, because I'm ranty, right? I get kind of thing. And I had my one little rant. I kicked off and I was like, okay, I'm done. And we kind of moved on from everything. But I can't have, if I know it's going to be a discussion, you know me well enough. I can put that shit on park and I can talk about it.
Yeah. And this is not the first time anyone's ever made comment about our language.
Yeah.
And I think,
in my language, just so anybody listens to, this is my language in day-to-day life.
For the most part, you don't dial it back at all at work?
No.
Really?
No.
Because I do.
I have one other guy I work with.
Okay.
And he's as fucked up as I am.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, at home, I weirdly enough, because I don't cuss around the kids.
Yep.
Well, very, very, very little. And I don't, and I edit some around Amanda only because there's some words she would let me. She doesn't, it's not like a permission thing, but there are certain words I know that she doesn't like as much. And so I try not to, I try to say them.
Same.
Like she doesn't like God damn it. I have no problem with God damn it. She doesn't get mad if I say it, but because I know she doesn't like it, I try not to, right? It comes out every now and then. But
you do the same thing with your language that I do with my alarm clock.
Yeah, exactly. And to me, again, it's because I know that she doesn't like it. And so I consciously try not to. But like I said, if it slips, I'm like, God damn it. She's not like, don't say that. She just, she didn't say anything. It's just whatever. But she knows that I try.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. I can't remember. If
she doesn't also just like if I go, Jesus.
Oh, really? She doesn't like that either.
Like Jesus and God damn it are the two she doesn't like.
Really? Because that the Jesus thing and Jesus Christ and whatever, that didn't bother Krista, but God damn it, she doesn't like that. So
Jeebus.
Jesus crust.
Jesus crust. Anyway, so what were we gonna say? I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I don't remember if Gabe ever told the story on here about him saying God damn it in front of my dad.
Yes.
Did he?
And you have too.
And he still, we took the kids all out and Kelsey and Matthew's girlfriend Rain as well out to dinner the other night. And he brought that up again, was like, I'm shook. Like when that comes up, like I can't handle the feeling floods back or whatever.
That's so funny.
It was interesting is because what was happening is Will had challenged him basically to a drinking contest,
right,
under the guise of something else. We were all playing poker. And he drank Will under the table. Like Will was just fucking sloshed. And Gabe was like, all right, you gonna pour another one?
Yeah.
You know, and it was whiskey, wasn't beer.
Right.
And
I'm proud of Gabe.
Yeah. I mean, but this was 4 years ago.
Right.
So he's 22.
Yeah.
I mean, of course you can drink like a champ most of the time.
Right.
If you've been drinking for any amount of time.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect you the same. You wake up the next morning like nothing. And Will's not. He's in his late 30s. And so I think his guard was down. That was the thing. His guard was down, and he got a bad beat in a hand of poker, and he went, God damn it. And that was, I mean, I hadn't seen my dad that serious in a long time. To the extent that this is my kid there, and there's nothing I can do about it because he hasn't raised a hand to him or anything. It's like, this is a life lesson you have to learn. And it's just like, it's one of those things where I just like look away and take a sip of whatever I'm drinking and let it run its course. But yeah, Gabe, he's still not over that.
That's funny. That's funny.
So anyway, all right, let's go back to this real quick and see what was left.
And then she even said, and she was like, what's his name? Steve, I really feel sorry for him. Does he really feel like he's an a-hole and he's not a good person?
The other
Mrs. Tanner should have their own show.
Yeah, I know. Maybe me and Mrs. Tanner should have a show. The other thing that really kind of got under my skin, I'll be honest, and you guys know this because I'm like trying to cut out swearing, is like, I don't know how many times Steven said "Gee, damn it" in that episode, but like,
he's trying to cut out swearing, so he said the swear word.
It just at a certain point, like it just drove me nuts, man. I'm not gonna
oh god,
like
your ears were burning.
It was burning, and I wanted to like say, "Hey, Don't take the Lord's name in vain.
All right, so that's a pet peeve of mine. That's not taking the Lord's name in vain.
Right.
You're not damning God.
Yeah, you're
and which
damning
why
whatever
so
you're talking
many
about.
people in the South take it as you're damning God, and it's not like, damn it, God. It's you're not saying it that way.
Yeah,
it's not. You're I always pitch it as like, no, you're asking God to damn whatever it is you're talking about.
So the funny thing about that, though, like I heard that and I was like, because we asked them before, and like, what do we need to do about language? We can dial back if we need to. And they're like, no, you're fine. And granted, I don't think they had any idea because
BU is what they said.
Yeah, but then Benny and them had never been on the show, so they didn't know the amount.
Benny had been on the show. Benny had been. Benny and Evan were on the show.
Oh, that's right.
Together the first time.
But I say, God damn it, a lot. Like to the point that even your brother was like, he says, God damn it, so much.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But the funny thing is, if he would have been like, hey, please quit saying that, I'd be like, okay, dude, not a problem. Like if he would have actually nutted up and fucking and actually called me out, sure, I would have respected that. Yeah, I would have talked shit about him after, but I would have respected.
So next time they come on our show, because that we've invited them back on. Only if Joel comes though. Yeah. But that's the first thing to do is like, we've got the goddamn dumbass dudes.
Right. Yeah. But that's the funny thing, because it's their fucking show, right? So had he stood up and said, hey,
for sure,
something, I'd be like, oh yeah, my bad, dude. And it'd been fine. So I think I find that funny. Like, I was like, dude, nut up, man. If I have a problem with some shit you're saying on my show, I'll tell you, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's what you should do next time when they actually, instead of doing that, when he just says, hey, not on here.
Yeah. Right. Quit taking the Lord's name in vain. It's like, all I said was Ryan Reynolds. God. Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Was there anything else?
There's a little bit more, but not much.
Benny,
talk about not coming back.
I'll cut those out next time they're on.
Benny, you're starting to be like that commercial. Don't be your parents. listen, you turn into an old crotchety. You're turning into your dad. What's going on here? Come on, buddy. Hey. You're still in your 40s.
I'm aging fast, but still. That's how I felt. I can't lie,
That's funny.
Well, hey, you know what?
But I still love you, Steven. It's fine.
Oh, it's all right, Benny. I forgave
the
him.
love of God, right?
More than welcome you again. Like I said,
that's Phileo.
Come back to the show anytime, but it's got to be all three of us. So if you're ready to duke it out again, let's go back.
I left this part.
It's not like I want to duke it out. I just want to kind of understand why they have so much animosity. And it seems like
they 4 hours, though. Can't be 4 hours.
Yeah.
I bit that bullet the first time for us. It's only 2 hours. No. Or you guys do the first hour and then you guys drop off and I'll power through and finish the rest of the show.
Yeah, maybe we take shifts.
Like a telephone.
The only reason we did 4 hours with Evans because we did 2 episodes.
Right. Right. No, I think that's the beauty of having them on our show.
We're going to fade that out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Smooth, sexy fade.
So
that's funny.
So we, as of right now, we don't have a guest scheduled for next week.
Oh, we don't.
So if they're interested,
I'll
have them on next.
Come up. I'll hit them up. Let's see what's going on. We'll hit up on the tweetser.
So
yeah. So anyway, it was a fun episode. I thought it was funny hearing that after the fact. Because obviously they posted that and they said they discussed this and they tagged me in it. Because Evan likes to poke the bear a little bit. He likes to rile.
Oh, for sure.
He's that I
like that about him.
I do. Yeah. And so, of course, I turned it on. I didn't listen to any of the episode except the part about me. And I was like, I just fast forwarded that. And I listened to that. They should get some, credit for that listen.
Sure.
But, when I listened to him, I was like, that's fucking hilarious. Because me well enough. I don't take shit personally. Right. And so when I read that, I was like, that's fucking funny. And so I bullshit with him on Twitter a little bit, but I was hoping.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk to him again.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'll even bring out some, I'll bring out some facts. No fake news.
No fake news.
No fake news.
Look at you.
I tell you what, not for next week, but if Benny ever wants to have a legitimate discussion about this, like for real and not bullshit, and I'm actually talking a little serious right now. If he ever wants to actually discuss this and get the reason I think about this shit, what I think about, I will actually prepare for the episode. I will make notes and we can have a fucking conversation about it.
You should do your own podcast called like In the Word.
I mean, I can anecdotally anecdotally argue most of it, but the fact of the matter is, and I'm so out of touch with like my scriptural studies, I can't pull fucking section and verse out. That's why I would have to prep some shit. But again, anecdotally or just talking about like common sense wise, I'm not even fucking worried about that, part of that conversation. But
sure.
But Benny is enough. Like I gather him, one of the commonalities he has with you. Or that you guys share is just a little bit I've heard is he's, and rightfully so, but what is said, or let me rephrase it, how it's said.
The words that are used.
Yeah, the words that are used and how those words are said is as important to him as what was meant, if not more so. In a discussion, in a debate, like there's not a lot of
Sure.
Well, I get like, because for me, if we're talking and you say some shit and I know what you said is incorrect, but I know what you mean, it's fine. Like I get it, and like I'm not going to argue the words that you used, but for you, those are very important.
Yes.
In a discussion, and to me, if it's a formal debate, yeah, but in a conversation, it's like, nah, man, I know what you mean. Like I got you. It's cool, whatever. But
Sure.
But that's one of the ways we look at things very, very differently.
Yeah. So let's do a little bit of news. While I'm pulling up this news article, I want you to look up this guy. Don't share him.
Okay.
Don't share it. But there's how you spell his name. Don't say it out loud
I won't
either.
say it out loud.
But I want you to see, this is the guy that pitches himself as a Denzel Washington lookalike.
Oh.
So this is stuck in my mind. And I need somebody else aside from me and T to see this and go, yeah, that's him right there. Yeah. Like I said, they have two things in common.
Dude, that's Hootie.
More so than Denzel.
I never can remember the motherfucker's name. The guy from Hootie and Blowfish. Fuck.
Shit.
I always blank out for his name.
Yeah, because he's a country music singer.
I always call him Hootie because he hates Darius Rucker.
Darius Rucker.
If he was like, oh yeah, I look like Darius Rucker, I'd be like, okay, yeah, fuck yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Denzel, yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna do some news. We don't have the music for it.
No,
but anyway, board security guard at Russian museum draws eyes on $1 million painting. A Russian man's new job as a security guard at an art museum took a bizarre turn when, on his first day at work, he grew bored and decided to draw eyes on a $1 million painting. The shocking act of vandalism was reportedly first noticed back in early December when a pair of patrons visiting the Yeltsin Center in the city of Yekaterinburg noticed something amiss with artist Anna Leporskaya's piece, Three Figures.
That's so funny.
Yeah, when museum officials were alerted to the issue, they were aghast to discover that someone had used a ballpoint pen to add eyes to two of the heads in the nearly century-old painting. Following an investigation by the museum, it came to light that the culprit was, in fact, a security guard who had only started working in the museum that day and is said to have gotten bored while on the job. Let's see.
That's so good. That is
I'm
so
trying
good.
to find a photo. I'm not going to play the video, but
yeah, please don't.
The photo is behind the guy, and the two figures to his left and right has got the eyes drawn on them. It's just
that's
a circular.
That's some Mr. Bean shit.
Yeah, it's just circular. It's not even. There's no.
It just drew circles for us.
There's no iris. It's just the outline of the eyes.
What's an iris?
It was a song by the Goo Goo Dolls. It was probably their first or only #1 hit.
That's awesome.
So yeah. All right. So,
I mean, I like some Goo Goo Dolls, but they're no Kid Rock.
Yeah, for sure. So let's see here. All right.
Have you heard the Leonard Skinner cover of that Chris Rock song?
No.
Okay.
What Chris Rock song? Which one?
What's the name of the goddamn song? It's one that sounds like Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh,
which is the Sweet Home Alabama is the cover of the Chris Rock song.
Yeah, drinking whiskey from the bottle, not thinking about
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. See?
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Tomorrow.
No, I know. No, I've not heard the Leonard Skinner cover of it.
Okay.
I don't recognize Leonard Skinner as an active band anymore because the real people died.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's like people like, I'm going to go see Sublime next month. Like, you're not going to go see Sublime.
Right.
Oh no, Sublime with Rome.
I'm pretty sure I heard either Eve 6 or
Eve 6 is back on tour.
Yeah, but somebody's coming to Knoxville, and I don't think it's Eve 6, but I want to say who's one of the other bands around that time that's.
Oh shit!
I tend to get them confused.
Not Better Than Ezra, is it?
No.
I remember running through the wet grass.
No. Anyway, I don't remember. But regardless. All right.
Flogging Molly's here next week.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I opted to get tickets for the Dashboard Jimmy World show because
that's going to be a good one. I wish I
know,
was going.
But Lyric wanted to go to the Flogging Molly show because I've gotten her into Flogging Molly and stuff. And I'm like, you're not ready for a Flogging Molly show, sweetie.
No,
she's too tiny. She really wants to get in the pit, but she's never been to a rock show.
I understand that. And she's no. Yes, you're correct. She's too small for that.
She's gotten super like emo and pop punk and shit like that. And I introduced her to Flogging Molly, and she really likes them. And so the Jimmy World Dashboard Confessional show is at the Tennessee Theater. So
Right.
it's seated.
It's still going
to be a great rock show, but it's not going to be, there's not going to be a pit. There's not going to be all that shit. And the Flogging Molly is. And when she gets bigger, I will take her to that type of show. But she was like, Dad, I want to go to the Flogging Molly and get in the pit. And I was like, no, like you're 13 and you weigh like 70 pounds.
Yeah.
Like you would die. I would maybe let her get in the pit in the MXPX show.
Ooh, that's rough. The last time I went, which has been 10 years at least.
But I'm saying,
still,
but we're also old, but they're a little more friendly is what I mean. Like it's not as quite as like,
well, it's all going to be people our age. So
Right.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Anyway,
so I'm going to see Bert Kreischer here in Knoxville in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're listening to this, hit Bert Kreischer up, tell him to be on this show.
Yeah. Flood his Twitter. Flood him.
Twitter, Instagram, just flood him, tell him to be on this show, and I'll reach out.
We should start making a list.
Tag
that we put
us
up at
in
the
it
beginning of every
so that
show
we know.
of people we want people that listen to the show to harass to come on the show.
Yeah. For
Mob,
sure.
It's like mob justice.
Well, I mean, he's going to be in Knoxville, and there's a day between shows that he will likely be in Knoxville that we could go to him, or he could come to
Dennis Rodman was here last week.
He was, and I was so upset that I didn't know.
Looking for Funko Pops of himself.
Yeah, I would have totally hit him up to be on here. Anyway,
sit around, talk some Kin Jongs
for sure. All right,
and uns. Go ahead.
Next news story. A soccer defender, scores an absurd hat trick in the She Believes Cup.
Okay.
Michaela Moore may have had the worst kind of history Sunday in the She Believes Cup. Moore, a defender for New Zealand's women's soccer team, scored 3 of her own goals in 36 minutes before being subbed off and put out of her misery against the U.S. 2 of the own goals came in the 5th and 6th minutes of the game. Moore first dumped the ball into her net when she attempted to deal with a cross into the area. Then, 60 seconds later, Margaret Purce's header took an unfortunate deflection off Moore's face.
Wow.
The 25-year-old's miserable afternoon ended shortly after she made a horrific attempt to clear, leaving New Zealand's goalkeeper incredulous.
Oh, my God.
Moore completed an imperfect hat trick of sorts, scoring with her left foot, right foot, and head.
Oh, man.
The U.S. went on to win the group stage match 5-0. So, I mean, they would have won anyway, but still.
That's wonderful.
That's
wonderful.
She believes she can score a hat trick. Anyway.
Playing at that level, I mean, that's the type of shit that makes you commit suicide.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't do that.
If she played for Brazil, she would have committed suicide as soon as she got back home. All right. I got a news story for Benny. Pope Benedict asks for forgiveness in a confession responding to Munich sex abuse report.
Oh, I heard about this. Yep.
Emeritus Pope Benedict the 16th has written a mea culpa in a penitential letter released by the Vatican today that he calls a confession in response to the charges made against him in the report on abuse in the Archdiocese of Munich, published on January 20th.
Yep.
In it, he takes personal responsibility and asks forgiveness for the abuses and the errors that occurred on his watch when he held different positions of great responsibility in the church.
Yep.
Not just in Munich, but also in Rome.
Yep.
The Pope said, once again, I can only express to all the victims of sexual abuse my profound shame, my deep sorrow, and my heartfelt request for forgiveness for all the atrocities that the Catholic Church is responsible for throughout history. He didn't say that. I added that last part in there.
Thank you.
My deep sorrow and my heartfelt request for forgiveness. I have had great responsibilities in the Catholic Church, he wrote in a key paragraph of the 2-page letter. Really, all that sexual abuse in only 2 pages. All the greater is my pain for the abuses and the errors that occur. He should have had to write 1 page for every count of sexual abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should also have to write it to Jesus. Yeah. All the greater is my pain for the abuses and the errors that occurred in those different places during the time of my mandate. Each individual case of sexual abuse is appalling and irreparable. The victims of sexual abuse have my deepest sympathy. There's a joke there.
There is.
And I feel great sorrow for each individual case. Yeah. Yeah. He also responded. This is an unfortunate word that the writer uses. Benedict also responded forcefully to those who have called him a liar because in his original response to the Munich report, he denied that he was present at a meeting in 1980 in which the request was made to allow an abuser, the Reverend Peter Hollerman, to reside in Munich for therapy.
Yep.
It was a genuine mistake in the editorial process, he explained. This error, which regrettably was verified, was not intentionally willed, and I hope may be excused.
Yep. This is gonna make me mad. Why you God damn it, Joey.
What? No, I actually got that story lined up before the dumbass dudes episode.
Well, no, not to do that, but I'm just saying, like, but you know that shit riles me up. You know it does. And that's why you pick news stories most of the time, to get some type of reaction out of me. But
I got a better one for you.
No.
No. I got a better news story for you.
No, I mean, I'm tired of doing news stories. Continue.
Oh. Man's penis may never work again.
Okay.
After his wife puts expanding foam inside it to keep him hard during sex.
Yes.
Yeah. Partners experiment a lot during sex, but this couple's experiment might have gone too far. A man's penis may never be able to function after his partner put expanding foam inside it with the aim of keeping it erect.
Was it consensual?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
This man had been struggling with impotence for a while and had been inserting various objects into the opening of his penis during sex with the aim of keeping it erect. The 45-year-old unidentified man had a bad reaction after his partner tried to use the straw of a can of insulation spray to keep him hard. The foam is generally used for home insulation.
Yeah.
However,
filling holes.
After it was inserted into the penis, it hardened, and he was left with several masses inside his penis and bladder. She went fucking deep.
Yeah, that's deep.
If that's in the bladder.
Jesus.
Medical supervisors who treated the American man,
yeah,
said he waited 3 weeks before seeking medical attention and only did so after finding it increasingly sore and difficult to urinate.
Oh my
By the time the guy arrived at the
expanding.
by the time the guy arrived at the hospital, he was passing blood.
Wow.
They tried to go in through the head of the dick and pull the shit out, and because he had a separate issue that was not related to this, he had scar tissue in there, and it was holding on to the foam, and they couldn't pull it. They had to go in through his taint,
right,
and go up into the urethra, and then pull the shit out that way.
Yeah.
And
Whoa.
and
well, he's lucky
they
he didn't
diverted
have to split
his
the bitch like a hot dog.
Well, they
and go
diverted
in.
his urethra to his taint, so now he pisses out his taint, which is insane.
or convenient.
I guess, but you have to constantly sit down or hover over the toilet now.
Yeah, I guess too, especially if you have no like pinch off muscles. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
that's fucking insane.
Oh,
I mean, I've heard of people, put weird shit in their assholes and dicks, but that's spray foam's a whole new level of rad.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Not the spray foam challenge, kids.
Yeah.
I want to see it on TikTok. Let's see if you can get the hardest dick using spray foam.
Trying to pick one more news story to go over.
Yep.
I'm gonna read you what headline I wrote down, and I'll let you. I'm gonna read you 3, and I'll let you pick.
Okay.
Fake currency at Home Depot.
Okay.
No heart transplant without vaccine.
Uh-huh.
Or bill to ban making white people feel bad.
That one.
Okay. This is from Vanity Fair.
Of course it is.
Florida advances. Now, I think since then this bill has actually passed, I think. Florida advances bill that would ban making white people feel bad about racism. And no, that is not a joke. The bill would ban public schools and private businesses from inflicting discomfort on white people during lessons or training about discrimination. Let's see. Let's see here.
Definitely got to be a conservative bill that got put in.
Well, here we go. Of course. Quick question for the group. Despite constantly claiming liberals are easily triggered snowflakes, are Republicans actually the most ridiculously sensitive people on earth?
Yes.
I think it's pretty damn equal.
It's equal, yeah.
So much so that they can't stand the idea of factually accurate conversation about race in this country that might paint white people in an uncomfortable light, and are now going so far as to try to effectively ban said conversations because sticking their fingers in their ears and yelling la la la, can't hear you when the topic comes up, isn't working.
I can tell you where this came from.
Go ahead.
This is a bunch of people like, you know what? They're going to let us talk about shit that makes them uncomfortable. They can't talk about shit that's going to make us uncomfortable. And it was literally a petty, like, well, you're doing this.
Oh,
so
I'm sure.
I'm doing
this. It's what politics has come to now.
Yeah, that's all it is.
On Tuesday, and this is an old article. This is a few weeks old. On Tuesday, a bill backed by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said,
of course,
would prohibit public schools and private businesses from inflicting discomfort on white people during lessons or training about discrimination. Was approved by the state's Senate Education Committee. Its first hurdle before becoming a law. The bill, SB 148, seemingly grew out of the conservative hysteria over critical race theory. which, as a reminder, is an academic concept based on the idea that racism is not about individual people's prejudice, but about institutions and policies. It does not, as GOP lawmakers and their partners in the right-wing media would have us believe, teach that all white people are racist. Let's see here. Democrats have argued that such a bill would lead to frivolous lawsuits and basically equate to censorship. When asked for real-life examples of schools or businesses telling students or employees that they are inherently racist because of the color of their skin, their Republican counterparts could come up with none. The bill's not for blacks. This bill, it was not for any other race. State Senator Chevron Jones says, this was directed to make whites not feel bad about what happened years ago. At no point did anyone say white people should be held responsible for what happened. But what I would ask my white counterparts is, are you an enabler of what happened? Or are you going to say we must talk about history? Anyway,
I hate people.
Florida's got another bill called like "Don't Say Gay" or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't.
It's
remember.
also because like, well, even the wording in that article like are liberal, whatever. Like, everybody is so fucking sensitive about everything, and it becomes well, you can't say that, so you can't say this. We can't say that, so you can't. It's like fuck all, man.
Right? How old are you?
And now that's like okay. Here's the litmus test to me. How the fuck do you treat people? Right. Not based on what they say, but who they are. Because here's the thing: like, I might have words with somebody on either side. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about like the article of the author of the article, or a white person that's really uncomfortable with racial shit. I'll tolerate you. I'll put up with you. I'll be fucking nice to you. But I'm gonna talk. If we need to talk, we need to talk. But like your belief system, as long as you're not being a fucking cunt and forcing me to walk down that same road,
sure,
I'm fine with you, man.
Right.
Like I don't take our differences in opinion or mine and anyone else's differences in opinion, viewpoint, whatever, as a personal affront. And I think that's the issue with all of this shit. It's like them taking like nobody wants to be uncomfortable with anything.
Sure.
And I thought it was funny about the thing talking about the whatever it was about the fact, whatever. I was like, no one wants to talk about fact and science and shit.
No,
it's like, you know, it's like, yeah, fact, this stuff happened not that long ago. Fact, it makes people uncomfortable. You know what else is a fact? A lot of the gender discussions where psychology and biological science are fucking at odds with each other. That's an uncomfortable conversation. It's one worth having.
Sure.
But they're not going to because, God damn it, it makes me feel bad. Fuck off. Fuck everyone. Fuck off.
It's funny to me how the two sides work. Whereas, you know, one will go for a while claiming facts and things like that, and the other one will go, well, if you're going to do this, then we're going to do this kind of thing, and then it'll flip flop, and then the other side will say facts and science and whatever, and then the other side will go, well, fine, then we're going to do this, and you can't say this, and it's insane. I mean,
that's been one
for anyone that doesn't believe, you're in the prime time in this country to realize that Republicans and Democrats are two sides of the same fucking coin, trying to do the same thing, but they're kowtowing to different people.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, and over time, okay, so it's COVID,
and I may be a little bit buzzed,
right? But COVID is the perfect example of that shit, right? Because both sides. Oh, here's the thing: both sides of the fucking political aisle
follow the science,
have said the exact same thing at different points in the fucking evolution and process. The exact same things.
Yeah, I had another news article that I chose not to go over that was about how COVID actually is man-made, and Fauci and some of those sent out emails saying, do not release this information to the public.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's insane.
See, at that point, none of that shit surprises me. Like, honestly, none of it.
Right.
None of it. But I will say I find it funny that a lot of people, especially on the Republican side, will be like, well, our government would never do anything like that to its people. Oh, bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not if you're white, but consistently, like the U.S. government has.
Well, not if you're white and rich.
Right. But I mean, consistently, the U.S. government has used biological experiments on the population multiple times throughout history.
That's why that's why all of the older black people that aren't willing to get the vaccine for COVID, that's what they all reference. I mean,
it's like, hey, let's give all these black dudes syphilis and see what the fuck happens.
Christ, man.
And well, there's another.
I don't understand that.
Well, there's another thing too, and I cannot remember specifically. I'd have to look it up to get the quote, but it was in San Francisco. Back years ago that they dropped some fucking biological shit and just trying to see what the fuck would happen, and it got a little
AIDS.
No, it wasn't AIDS.
Okay, well, you said San Francisco.
I was just from somebody fucking a monkey man.
Oh, geez,
which is still a hilarious thing that comes out of that. Like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, it's a whole, dude, there's a whole slew of fucking crazy out there. There really fucking is.
There is.
It's, I don't know.
And they mostly belong to the Catholic Church. So,
I think
kidding.
it's
Benny.
Yeah, right. Now I will say religion is at the heart of a lot of fucking crazy. A lot of fucking crazy. But
I mean, it's the part, it's a huge part of the, well, I was going to say the far right, but it's really not so much, because far right, there's a lot of people in the far right that aren't very religious people.
Right.
They just want their freedom of speech, man.
I will say religion, well, at the depths of crazy conservatism is a lot of fucking church and religion and shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
but I'm talking, yeah, conservative, yes, but I'm not. I'm talking about like the alt right, the hard far right. Yeah.
Regardless, I don't give a shit about any of that. I really don't. Like, everybody on both sides of the fucking coin. Like, if you're loudmouth about this shit, you're probably a fucking cunt.
Oh yeah,
on either side. If you're on social media, and I'm not talking about people in positions of authority, they're a whole different discussion. But as a normal human being without a platform,
sure.
If you're on social media screaming about any particular issue and being a dick to other people, you're a cunt and part of the problem.
Yeah. If you're, yeah.
And I don't care what side of coin that is. You could be yelling about vaccines. You could be yelling about Biden. You could be yelling about, I don't give a fuck. If you're yelling about shit and you're actively cutting people out of your life because they disagree with you and calling them toxic, you're part of the fucking problem.
I can't stand the word toxic.
I know.
It's so insane.
But that's why I use it. It's insane. But that's,
no, I understand.
But that's the thing. Well, they're toxic in my life. Like, no.
No,
I mean,
I've toxic as you allow them to be.
Well, I've heard the term used before it got popular, and in context, it made sense. Like, oh, those friends are toxic, and those the same as parents saying they're bad influences on you. And there are people that are like negative in your life. But for me, when I think negative, it's like, oh, I struggle with alcoholism. These guys want to take me drinking every night.
I'm glad you could admit that.
Yeah, right. But they don't give a fuck about where I'm at, and they just want to take me drinking for their own benefit or whatever. You know, like those people. Yeah, you need to cut people like that out because they care about themselves more than you. But if someone has a differing belief than you, and you don't like it, that's not fucking toxicity,
right?
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like,
no, I could just System of a Down song. Sure,
yeah, exactly. I regret my choice of words in that instance, but like if I'm a big Biden supporter and you're a big Trump supporter and you're like, well, fuck you, you can't like that guy and be in my life. Like, fuck yourself.
Well, I've said it before. I mean, like, I play a game on my phone to pass the time, and it's amazing to me Yes, it's amazing to me how many people have their political beliefs in their username or in the quote clan that they join. That's what they call it.
Golf clans. Yeah.
It's amazing to me how many of them have that in their title. And my thing is just like, Jesus Christ, can we not just give it a rest when we get?
It's like it's a video game golf.
Yeah, on your phone. It's not even a PlayStation game. If it's a PlayStation game, fine. Say all of your shit and have all of your shit on. I mean, some of the worst language you'll ever hear is on
playing 13-year-olds in Call of Duty.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
But yeah, it's insane to me. Just people will talk about, well, you're intolerant. No, you're all if you can't hear somebody else's opinion about anything, you're an intolerant motherfucker. Period.
Sure.
Period. If you write somebody off based on anything that they believe in, you're an intolerant fuck.
So I've got somebody's opinion I could play for you and let you hear.
Oh yeah.
See if you're intolerant of it or not.
Sure.
I just don't want to get you worked up this close to the end of the episode.
Nah, I say, well, see, regardless, because I can think somebody's opinion is stupid. That doesn't mean I won't talk to them or treat them with respect.
Okay.
So let's go ahead.
So essentially, I believe that there are two qualifications for any woman preacher. And the first one would be that she know and love the word of God, that she be a diligent reader of the word of God.
She sounds drunk as fuck.
The second would be that she delight to obey Jesus, that she delights to be in total submission to him as he has revealed himself in his word. Okay. And so when you put those two very reasonable qualifications together for any woman who wants to preach, you find out that, oh snap, there's no such thing as a qualified woman preacher, because there's no such thing as a woman who delights to be in submission to Jesus, who reads his word, who comes away thinking, I'm the one who ought to be preaching this word. And I would explain the passages to you, except I assume this is a co-ed audience. So maybe you should go find a qualified man preacher to tell you what? Scripture has to say about that.
I have no idea what she just said.
She said that if you truly believe the word of God, you know that there can't be a woman preacher.
Right. No, I got that, but I was but like the way she sounded drunk as shit to me.
She did.
But like I think she's fucking stupid. But like I'm not.
I know.
But I'd sit down.
I know. I saved that earlier today. I thought, well, all right, if we do a
Yeah.
clip of that, then I've got one. But.
Yeah. Like here's the thing. So and maybe I'm being contradictory. So call me out if I am. But to me, thinking you're a fucking idiot for your opinion,
sure,
and refusing to even acknowledge your presence because of that opinion are two different things, right?
Sure.
Like somebody like that, I'm not going to hang out with them if I'm forced to dinner with them. We'll talk, we'll be pleasant, whatever. But I'm not going to I'm going to dislike them more likely because they're a piece of shit human being because I can hear whatever, but not based on that belief because they're going to annoy the fuck out of me, especially her talking with that fucking guttural Fry. Fuck that shit.
God,
vocal fry.
Vocal fry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you look at the word of Bible,
the word of God says.
Yeah. You know who made that? I read an article on the study of the vocal fry coming back. Paris Hilton.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
And what was the show? The Good Life, whatever it was, or not The Good Life. When Paris Hilton and Nicole, whatever.
Oh yeah, it's called The Good Life.
Good Life. That was kind of, but that was a big part of the kickoff of the vocal fry because that was a big part of how they spoke, and it re-influenced. I mean, it has existed kind of like the Valley Girl, whatever. But yeah, interesting. But yeah, I just feel like, again, if I don't like someone and think you're a piece of shit, it's not necessarily because of your opinion. It's because of who you are because of that opinion.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like we can have completely contradictory beliefs. Like, and I could think that you're really stupid, but we don't have to talk about that shit. I can look at you based on whatever.
I agree.
But yeah.
All right. But that's a good jumping off.
But the bottom line is Benny's an intolerant asshole.
Right. So we don't have a guest lined up for next week. We're going to reach out to We're going to reach out to the dumbass dudes, and if they don't or can't, I got another thought. Of somebody I'm going to reach out, but I'm not going to say who.
Okay.
So here we go. Adding what's left over from the grab bag, which is a Saint Germain elderflower liqueur. What the fuck, man?
Smell it.
Ooh, that's awful.
You don't even taste it before it goes in the bottle, just to know what you're putting in there.
That's not as bad as it smells.
No, it's not. It's sweet.
Jesus.
Mixed. That would be good with a Sprite or some shit. But by itself, it tastes like syrup.
Yeah. God, that's way more than one shot.
Yeah, I know. All right, so this other one.
This is going to be hard to pour in
is
there.
Old Smoky Moonshine, strawberries and cream, which I hate shit like this.
Yeah.
I was really hoping you'd get it neat.
What the hell?
Oh,
who is this? I bet I know who this is.
All right.
Call from.
It's Evan. Pick up the phone.
Hello, Evan. You caught us at the end of our show.
Yeah, I know, because you know what? I saw your tweet. First of all, fuck you, Steven. You're a bitch.
For what?
So because you called me a bitch. Thank you for defending me, Joey. I appreciate it.
Well, I don't remember calling him a bitch.
I don't either.
No, you did. You guys didn't. No, you said it. Listen, I saw the
Well
tweet.
done, sir.
I went back. I was trying to catch what you guys had said after the break. So I still haven't finished it because apparently just before I made the call, I heard Benny's name again. So you're still shit talking us?
Oh, just a little. That was it was a callback shit talk.
Yeah, buddy. Okay. Well, I'm here now. So what's up?
Dude, we played that whole clip from your show of you guys talking about
45 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw you started that. That was awesome. But I because I wanted to catch you guys before the show was over, I didn't get to finish it and hear everything you said. So I figured I'd just call in. And
what
was going on.
Nothing was going on. We just were discussing it, and we just thought it was because we both thought it was funny.
Yeah,
the conversation.
We just played the clip where Benny, rebutted Steven's statement,
right?
And we laughed about it, and Steven clarified what he was trying to say, and that was it. That was the end of it.
Yeah. And of course,
we really didn't talk shit.
Our normal colorful language. Yeah, I mean, we talk shit for funsies, whatever, but nothing serious because we love you guys.
Yeah, well, and we're scared of you, so.
Oh, but we felt the same way. I was like, when I listened to it, I was like, man, people are gonna think we are bitches. It's not us. It's not me and Joel that don't curse. It's not me and Joel who won't talk shit.
Right.
Benny is just Benny's on a journey.
Yeah, no, I get it. I assume he's given up
up
swearing for Lent or something.
Dude, he's got a bunch of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Benny's giving up.
Well, kids, they're called kids.
He's giving up.
Yeah.
He's giving up porn.
Yeah.
He's got all kinds of shit going on in his life.
Well, we
He's our friend.
Yeah. No,
We just let him have his path.
Yeah, well, we kind of alluded to that. Just it's a difference of opinion. And I just said that if Benny ever wants to talk, like I legitimately like. So in the show, me and him were kind of in the same boat. Like I had my little rant, got riled up, but I decided to pump the brakes as well because it was y'all's episode and we wanted it to flow and not get caught up on one thing. But and I'm reactionary with how I talk, but I also sincerely love talking about like religion and theology and shit like that. And so like I was joking on Twitter, but I sincerely would like, if he wants to have a further conversation, I'd love to. And I can do it without saying God damn it, even motherfucking goddamn once.
Right.
Well, one, I don't care about you cursing like that, but I think the only two people that'd be interested in that conversation is you and Benny.
That's true.
Yeah. No, but it's no, I was just joking that like it's like that because Benny said a couple times that I got under his skin, and I just thought it was funny, and so we just thought it'd be fun to play you guys talking about us, and talk about you guys talking about us, talking about our other show. It's it was fun.
Yeah. So we want to officially invite the three of you on to next week's episode if you can do it. Next Saturday night. We'll start at, let's just say 8 p.m. unless earlier is better for you guys. That's fine. We
Kevin's laughing. What a dick.
Tell Joel we don't even have to talk about religion. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I got a feeling that we're gonna let Benny and Steven duke it out a little bit.
Nah, it's not duking it out. That's
I know it's not.
Fucker.
I know. But we can start earlier if we need to, whatever works for you. And tell Joel we won't do 4 hours. We'll do between 1 and 2. And please explain to him that the only reason you were on for 3.5 hours was because we did 2 episodes in one night, not 1 episode.
Yeah, no, it was 4. I remember it.
Yeah,
it was
sure.
Also, thank you, fucking dude, for being like, oh yeah, I'll take the bullet for the rest of it. You fucking asshole.
Yeah. So
we did compliment him though, or I did earlier in the show.
Sure. Yeah, earlier in the show, he said that Steven said he thought that you looked like Denzel Washington.
No, you have elements of Denzel that are sexy as fuck.
All right, so next week, right?
Yeah, next Saturday night. If
he just completely ignored my Denzel compliment.
If possible. If possible. If not, that's fine. We'll schedule it for another time. But
all right.
Anyway.
Cool. Sounds good.
What else? What else you got to say, bitch?
No, I just wanted to say it was. I'm so glad you guys came on and did the show. We've been getting a ton of comments just about that show overall, about it really just being a good show. Like people really enjoyed it.
Good.
So I hope your listeners will go on and check out that episode too.
Yeah, that's we're gonna link it up.
I already have. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that show that you guys were on and then that follow-up show were 2 pretty good shows. But yeah, for sure, man. I'll get on the horn with the guys and see if they are available for next week, and we'll definitely come on and do the show. Anytime. And
just tell them we will work around their schedule. If they need to do it earlier in the day, we'll reschedule and we'll do our stuff early in the day. Or if they need to do it later, we can do it later. It's whatever. We'll work around them.
And if Benny needs me to pick up some tampons for him before the show, I'll be sure they get there in time.
Yep. We'll even light a candle for him in here.
We can pray together before the episode. Whatever.
That's true.
I used to be a minister. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. I won't hold you up. It's great talking to you as always, and we'll get this set up, and then we'll come back and put on a good show.
Yeah, right. and if next week doesn't work, let us know what weeks do, and then we'll set it up.
Sounds good.
All right.
Hugs and kisses, big fella.
oh, Jesus. All right, guys.
All right, man.
Yep.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye. All right.
How was that?
There we go, Evan. Dude, that shit curdled in the alcohol.
I know.
That is awful. That's terrible.
It stays.
It stays. We're gonna get sick.
Yeah, we'll get sick. It's just fucking penicillin, dude.
It's not penicillin. It
will be by the time it molds.
Cottage cheese in there now. I'm gonna have to. I have to go put that in the refrigerator.
You don't have to.
No, I have to.
Why?
We will get fucking sick.
No, we won't,
dude.
It doesn't. Right. It doesn't go bad. It's like soggy.
Nah, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. But anyway, all right. So as of right now, we're working on Dumbass Dudes. But if they can't do it next week, I've got a thought.
Okay.
And I'm not going to put it out there because I need to find out if it'll work out or not.
Okay.
So
I thought we rescheduled. What's his name for next?
Well, he's not on the calendar.
Well, I'll have to look because I might have.
Well, then you're gonna have to reschedule them again because dumbass dudes.
It's in the email. You can see the email. God damn it!
I'm sorry. You got to put it in the calendar.
I know. Let's see. Yep. March 5th.
Well, I'll let you.
I thought you checked the email too. I thought we both looked at it. I just forgot to put it in the calendar.
Yeah, if it's not in the calendar, I don't.
God damn it.
I consider emails fake news, and if it's not in the calendar,
Right, that's fair. In all fairness, I don't really want to have this guy in anyway, but we will. I'll work it out.
That's fine.
Because Evan probably can anyway.
So, hey, look, we'll figure it out regardless.
Okay.
Next week, somebody will be on with us.
Yes, somebody will be.
So, all right. Until next week. Goodbye. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook at B3F Podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Twitch at B3F Podcast. And on Instagram at B3F_podcast. YouTube has all of our videos. Support us on Patreon or buy me a coffee at B3F Podcast. Send all your questions or comments to admin at B3Fpodcast.com. Find us online at B3Fpodcast.com. Rate us and review us wherever you listen. And as always, thanks for listening.